miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Daniel Jones gets a fresh start. The former Giants quarterback is signing with a playoff contender as he preferred, the Vikings. One-year deal the rest of the season, $375,000, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Jones will start out on the Vikings practice squad. Minnesota's a game back of NFC North, leading Detroit and 5th in the NFC. Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins week to week with a sprained MCL. L.A. should be able to weather the absence of Dobbins, 4th in the AFC in rushing, believes CBS NFL analyst J.J. Watt.
You play good defense, keep points off the board. You still have Justin Herbert, sling that ball around a little bit more. I mean, it's a tough division. Like you said, it's not, that division is brutal. When you play good defense, you can do a lot of things, especially late in the year. And Jesse Minter has that defense, playing good ball.
J.J. Watt on the Pat McAfee Show. Chargers 6th in the AFC, 3 back of the division. AFC West leading Chiefs. Chiefs plan to activate running back Isaiah Pacheco off IR and defensive end Charles Omenihu off the PUP list in time for them to play Friday against Vegas. Raiders will be starting quarterback Aiden O'Connell.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, Dolphins fans, come closer. Listen up. I know you think your team could still make the playoffs, but I'm going to tell you why my Packers are going to end your dream. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Sure. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I mean,
Hump day.
is it really a hump day?
It's hump day.
Muse, is it really a hump day?
Mike.
Yes or no?
What day is it, Mike?
Yes.
Paulie, is it really a hump day? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Hump day.
Okay.
It's hump day.
Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Then it's Black Friday.
Hump day.
We're not back until Monday.
It's hump day.
So really, it's Friday.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
On a Wednesday
Hump day.
in the capital city of Baton Rouge.
It's hump day.
Fantasy Blitz today.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Mike Triplett today.
Hump day.
Eddie Radosovixh talking Sooners.
It's hump day.
Lee Sterling dishing out picks.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Russ Mitchell is a fraud and he bailed on us.
Hump day.
That's okay.
It's hump day.
We got a lot to do anyway.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
And yes, I'm not going to yell about jerseys.
Hump day.
He's done yelling about it.
It's hump day.
Plus, they won't let me curse here, so I'm not really in the mood to yell if I can't curse.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's a good day to drink some delicious Evermore water. All right, let's get going here. We got a lot to do. Let's begin as we do every single day. Hit it, Muse.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
We are 1 week from signing day. 1 week from today begins the early signing period, and we're obviously keeping an eye on a handful of stories. We know that Bryce Underwood no longer part of the LSU class. The idea now is keep the current commits you have together and see if you can land any other prospects that are out there. Among them, and the biggest among them that are still uncommitted, is Jakeem Stewart. You all know the story. Kid from New Orleans. We've talked about it for months. Reclassified from 26 into the class of 2025. He's down to LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, and Southern Cal. He was at Southern Cal 2 weekends ago. He was at Oregon last weekend. This weekend, he's expected to be up in C-Bus to watch Ohio State against Michigan. And Steve Wiltfong, National Recruiting Director for On3, on Tuesday night put in his prediction for Jakeem Stewart to Southern Cal. Southern Cal is, you may know, I think some people are maybe confused by this. Southern Cal is a private school, and they are loaded. And also, the defensive line coach at Southern Cal is from New Orleans, so there's a relationship there with Jakeem Stewart as well. I'll be interested to see if that's how it goes. For what it's worth, Wiltfong has his confidence level at 60% there for Jakeem Stewart to Southern Cal, but yet 7 days to go. Nearly 2 weeks ago now, had a conversation with someone very closely associated with LSU's recruiting and roster building process. Say that. I don't like just saying a source told me, but I will protect that person's anonymity. And this person told me that LSU had 3 priorities to finish this class. It was Bryce Underwood, DJ Pickett, and Jakeem Stewart. Those were the 3 priorities. Well, Bryce Underwood's already going to Michigan. Jakeem Stewart is now being projected to go to Southern Cal. We'll see how they finish there. And Miami and Oregon are actively pursuing DJ Pickett, the 5-star cornerback, the number 1 corner in the country, who's now the cornerstone of LSU's, the crown jewel of LSU's recruiting class with Bryce Underwood gone. I'll tell you this about Jakeem Stewart, and I don't know what's going to happen. We'll find out next week what he does. But if you gave me the option today, and listen, I'll tell you, it's a similar mindset that I have with Bryce Underwood. Do I want Bryce Underwood? Absolutely. But in 2025, are you better with Nussmeier or Underwood? 5th-year senior Nussmeier, true freshman Underwood. The answer is Nussmeier. It's not even close. Similarly, what I will tell you about Jakeem Stewart is that LSU's offer, NIL offer for Jakeem Stewart, the money they had allocated was a hair under $1 million per. A hair under $1 million. Underwood leaves the class, frees up money. I don't know if LSU has adjusted that offer. I don't know. I don't know in the last couple of weeks. It's certainly since Bryce flipped to Michigan. But suffice to say, LSU could comfortably offer Jakeem Stewart 7 figures a year. Maybe SC is going much higher than that. Don't know. But I will say this. If you gave me the option in 2025 of Jakeem Stewart, a reclassified defensive lineman, so a guy that should be entering his senior year of high school, who's played 1 year of high school football, or go into the portal and get whatever this year's version of Walter Nolan is for 1 year, go into the portal and get me this year's version of Walter Nolan for 1 year. And I would say that 100 times out of 100. Do I want Jakeem Stewart in the class? Absolutely. Are you willing to pay a very healthy price to get him into your class and have him a part of your program for 3 years? Absolutely. Are you willing to mortgage the rest of your roster for that one player? Absolutely not. And that should be true with Underwood, with Stewart, with anybody. Brian Kelly said it on Monday. It's not about one player. It's about building the roster to championship level. So, yeah, you're going to push and you'll invest the money that you can, you feel comfortable. But you also have to be responsible in how you allocate your NIL funds. And for 2025, I am more interested in getting an elite level interior defensive lineman. If it's an either or, if it comes down to either or, I would rather the elite level defensive lineman than overpay and break the bank and be all in on a freshman early enrollee who might be awesome. Give me a 3-year starter who is awesome and is a potential All-American that's going to help me impact me immediately the second he steps on campus. So, again, I'm not saying, don't worry about Jakeem Stewart. Of course you want Jakeem Stewart. But I'd also much rather him go to the West Coast and play in Los Angeles for Southern Cal than be in the SEC when you'd have to face him every week. So just something to consider. Again, that's just Steve Wiltfong's projection. I don't know what Jakeem Stewart's going to do. I just feel like I have to stress over and over again. I am not sitting here saying, no big deal. You didn't really want these guys. They're not that good. I am not saying that in any way. You want these guys. Absolutely you do. You have to ask the question, at what cost? There's another projection that's out there right now from, this is Tom Loy from 24/7. Tom Loy is a national college recruiting guy for 24/7. He's predicting Derek Meadows to flip from LSU to Alabama. Now, it's thought it'll either be Michigan, Notre Dame, Alabama. Meadows is expected to be on LSU's campus this weekend. I'll tell you what I know on the Meadows situation, which is, and Shay's detailed this quite a bit since he's been here, which is a lot of people were surprised when Meadows over the summer committed to LSU. He's not been back to LSU since. He's taken a bunch of visits. It's largely been assumed he would flip somewhere, Notre Dame or Michigan most likely. Alabama has gotten in the mix there out of necessity. Alabama had a 5-star wide receiver named Caleb Cunningham, who just last week, or maybe it would have been about 10 days ago. About 2 weeks ago. Caleb Cunningham flipped as a 5-star, flipped from Alabama to Ole Miss. So what you have in that situation with Bama is a team that's pretty desperate now. They had a 5-star receiver committed for a long time. He flipped. Now they're desperate for a receiver. They had funds open up. They can go make a bigger offer. With Meadows, I can tell you the scuttle was his camp was maybe pushing for more money, and I think LSU's comfortable with where they are. Remember, I've explained to you how they broke down the roster by position, and I don't think they want to exceed what they're like. They don't want to end up overpaying. This might be a situation. We'll see. Again, sure, if Derek Meadows signs with LSU, awesome. But what you're not going to do is go overpay for someone who isn't one of the top 3, 4, 5 guys in your class. You're going to have a value that you would associate with him. And if he wants to take it, great. And if someone wants to overpay, okay, then go there. That's just kind of going to be how some of this works. And as we're all getting used to how the roster management is going to work. I would tell you, whatever happens a week from today on signing day will be a giant part of LSU's 2025 roster, but it's incomplete until we see what happens in that first portal window. I'll tell you this, if Underwood signs with Michigan, if Stewart does indeed sign with Southern Cal, if Meadows flips, and then you get to, we'll see what happens with Pickett, and then you get to that first portal window, and you don't go ham, like if we come out of that first portal window and LSU's still sitting there with gigantic roster questions, then it's a giant time to concern. Then it's panic time. Because now you've put yourself in the same position you were in a year ago, where you were desperate in that second portal window, and the talent pool was just much more shallow. So a week from today, big day. Bigger day will be what transpires in that first portal window. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. Hey, make sure you follow Mockler Beverage on all the socials. They got their Safe Ride program going on where they will help pay for your Uber. The holidays are here. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Friday, of course, Black Friday. LSU plays on Saturday. The Saints on Sunday. check out the Mockler Beverage social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it, and you'll see the code to where you can get a free ride, a free Uber, courtesy of our friends over at Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. The holidays are here. Celebrate with plenty of ice-cold Bud Light, but make sure you drink responsibly as well. Check out the Mockler social media so you can get that code for your free Uber ride. Drive safely. It's the Safe Ride program with Mockler Beverage and Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, we'll knock out a quick break. If you want to join us, you can. Email us, tweet us, text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Kind of mixing and matching a lot of the shows of the next 3 days since we're not here Thursday or Friday. So bear with us. Our Fantasy Blitz is in about 30 minutes. So before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys over at whotostart.net. Whotostart.net. Darren Tietgen in about 30 minutes. It's AFR.
AFR.
Happy Thanksgiving from our friends over at Duplessis Builders. Derek Duplessis, his great family, their awesome staff over at Duplessis Builders. Louisiana born, Louisiana grown, Louisiana proud, LSU alum, Derek Duplessis, supporter of the Tigers as well. You've seen him do NIL deals with Kyron Lacey, with Harlem Berry, 5-star, #1 running back in the country, locked into LSU for the 2025 class. Derek Duplessis, NIL, true NIL deal with Harlem. I got to go sit with Harlem over at one of the beautiful pools and outdoor kitchens that Duplessis Builders built. Got to do a sit-down interview, Q&A with Harlem Berry and with Kyron Lacey. True NIL the way it was supposed to be, helping the Tigers continue to be competitive and to win. It's DuplessisBuilders.net. DuplessisBuilders.net. Listen, if you're thinking about building a pool, spa, outdoor kitchen, all that beautiful outdoor space to make your very own backyard paradise, you want the best. You want Duplessis Builders. DuplessisBuilders.net.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off the newly designed Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
The best kept
For the review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, Saints are back on the practice field on Wednesday. Darren Rizzi kind of changing up the week to give the team off on Thanksgiving. They'll be back practicing on Friday in advance of the home game against the Rams in the Dome on Sunday. We don't yet, as of this very moment, have the updated injury report. What I can tell you is from a guy over at Ross Jackson at LouisianaSports.net. Ross was out of practice, as he is every day and every availability they have, that Lucas Patrick and Eric McCoy were both not at practice again on Wednesday. So they missed practice Tuesday. They've now missed practice again on Wednesday. Lucas Patrick has been out for a bit now. I think it's week 9. It hasn't practiced since week 9. And, McCoy, we know the story there. Was injured against the Eagles with the groin, battled back from it, had surgery, pushed to get back early, played against Cleveland, re-aggravated it, and now coming off the bye, still not practicing, which is just super disappointing, man. I know it's the old Mike D line that we talk about all the time. Would a team they're fail to cover 80% of the time the week they lose their starting center, and the Saints are an underdog at home against the Rams, and I don't like the thought of not having McCoy or Patrick, which very likely means Shane Lemieux goes and plays center and Nick Saldiveri plays left guard. You think of where your advantage may be against the Rams, considering they're the 4th worst rushing defense in the NFL and just gave up 250 to Saquon. Now you're going to take McCoy and Patrick out, mix and match again on the interior. That's when this offense took a nosedive after the Eagles game. So, man, I don't know that I feel good about this at all. After practice on Tuesday, Darren Rizzi did meet with reporters. He gave an update on Eric McCoy. So this is what he said 24 hours ago.
Yeah, we're just kind of taking it smart with Eric. We started off earlier in the week, so he's kind of just still day-to-day. That's really all with Eric. We'll just kind of see, probably have more info tomorrow on where he's at. Now,
you obviously are going to be facing a Rams front without Aaron Donald for the first time. And, these two teams played a year ago, and it was a game late in the season where the Rams were just kicking the snot out of you up and down the field. And then late in the game, our king, the emperor of empty yards, went off after the game was well in hand. True definition of his title. His very earned title, by the way. But this will be the first time that you face the Rams without Aaron Donald. Here's what Darren Rizzi said about that defensive front, which has really struggled against the run this year.
I think the Rams the last couple of years have drafted very, very well. They got a lot of great, really good young players on defense. They kind of had to retool a little bit, with losing Aaron Donald. But if you look at their front four, they've done a really good job in the draft, drafting some really athletic guys. I think one of the things they do the best, if you look at this last 6-game stretch they've had, they're 4-2. They've rushed the passer very well. Aaron Donald might have been a little bit one-dimensional. I feel like they're a little bit more spread out. Their talent's a little more spread out, but their front four has been impressive in this, especially in this last 6-game stretch they've had. So I've seen plays from a lot of different guys, and so that's been probably the thing that's stood out the most to me on film.
I dare you to tell Aaron Donald he's one-dimensional to his face. No biggie. Just a future Hall of Famer and NFL Defensive Player of the Year. It's a little one-dimensional. Yeah, his one dimension is kicking the hell out of everybody he plays. Does that sound about right? Oh, my God. One more from Riz, though. Talked about the focus for the team coming off the bye.
The one thing that I've been probably the most proud of is the guys have done a phenomenal job of keeping the focus on that particular game. It's easy to get caught up in all the stuff that's been going on between the coaching change and all the changes going on. And I think, in my opinion, the biggest reason we've won the last 2 games is that the guys focused on the preparation. We had 2 really good preparation weeks, and the focus is on just being 1-0. So I know it's, that's, again, a lot of coach speak all in there, but really just keeping the focus on right now, the Rams, this game, and not trying to get caught up in the big picture stuff. And so bringing the guys back in today, getting started earlier here in the week, I thought it was great, getting work going and just kind of keeping the focus on the Rams.
Saints will try to make it 3-0 Sunday in the Dome against the Rams. Get your pick coming up a bit later in the show. Brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Riz did give an update on Chris Olave. I'll get to that in just a quick second. Parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Great day yesterday. I mean, we had our Parish Construction and Roofing Thanksgiving lunch all together, fried a turkey over at the Parish office, which, by the way, you can't miss it from I-10. The Parish office is on I-10, directly across from Blue Bayou. I mean, if you're driving down I-10 and you're looking at Blue Bayou, just look to the other side of the interstate, and you'll see our office right there. Can't miss the sign lit up at night. Can't miss our lights from Got Lit Light Installers as well. Shout out. Looks awesome. You can't miss us from the interstate. All the green lights. Do business with someone you know. We love to have a lot of fun. We love to be family-oriented, but the bottom line as well is we love to super serve our clients because we're part of this community and have been our whole lives. That's Richard Tilley. That's Ryan Terrio. That's me. That's Joe Morales. That's Trent Davis. It's all of our staff. It's why Kim Mulkey trusts us. We've done work for Kim Mulkey for her mother's house as well. Coach Mulkey trusts us. You can as well. Do business with someone you know. Look, I know what we've seen with insurance rates going up here of late. A lot of people's deductibles have spiked as well. Something that has really helped a lot of people is we do have financing available for your deductible. So, I mean, maybe you're paying a cash price for the roof. We can certainly finance that. But if it is going to be an insurance job and you have to pay your deductible, and as deductibles have increased, a lot of people have struggled with that. Don't let that stop you from getting the necessary repair or replacement that you need for your roof. We can help you finance your deductible as well, if that's what it comes down to. Do business with someone you know. That's us. That's Parish Construction and Roofing. Go to parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. We know Chris Olave's had a couple of concussions already this year, and his future seems very much in doubt as he's gone to IR, and very likely that means the end of his season. Remains to be seen. He could certainly return from IR, but it remains to be seen. But Darren Rizzi was asked for an update on Chris Olave. Here's what he said.
I don't know if you noticed, Chris was out there at practice today kind of helping out. He's kind of still going through that whole process. You know, he's met with a bunch of people. He's got another meeting coming up here next week. He's met with some different specialists throughout the country. You know, a lot of the specialists and a lot of the players that have dealt with these types of injuries. But he's in a good place. Him and I, last couple of days, we had great conversations. He's feeling a lot better, and we just, like I said, with that kind of injury, just want to make sure you're doing the right thing by the person, and that's what we're doing. And I think we'll have a lot more information on him after next week.
Second concussion from 2024. He's had concussion issues actually going all the way back to college at Ohio State. A lot of people have asked me my opinion on if Chris Olave should continue to play. I was asked the same thing about Tua. And my answer is it's not my answer. It's their health. And it's not my job or your job or anybody's job to protect them. It's their own free will to make the decision they want to make and take whatever risk they may take. And it's no different than a fighter that chooses to get in the ring or the octagon, knowing full well what the risk is every time that they step into the cage or into the ring. And you are doing potentially irreparable harm to your brain, to your body, but they know full well that risk. And if you, of your own volition, know the risk that you are assuming when you go play football, then that's your decision to make. If Chris Olave says, it's my life, I love football, I want to go play, and if this means, potential long-term ramifications, so be it, and he makes that decision of his own volition, okay, I'm not going to tell him not to do that. It's not my place or your place to do it. So I would love to see Chris Olave get healthy and resume his career and have a great, long, healthy career. But if it's a situation where he decides, like Troy Aikman did early, like others have done, guys like Patrick Willis, who shut it down in their prime because of those issues. Okay, I mean that's their answer as well. But we'll follow along and see what happens with Olave. In the meantime, you look at the Saints without Shaheed, without Olave. Marquez Valdez-Scantling has been like manna from heaven, his ability to stretch the field, but you're still looking for other options. I mean, aside from Valdez-Scantling at this point, your best pass-catching options are Alvin Kamara and your tight ends. You just don't have a real threat there in the receiver room. So certainly makes it more challenging on this offense. Another reason you got to get the running game going. But wish Chris Olave the absolute best, man. Wish him good health and hope he's back soon. All right, it's After Further Review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. And no trivia tonight. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. No trivia tonight at either Pluckers location. They'll resume trivia next Wednesday. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon, get done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. You know what to do. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Go to getgordon.com. It's getgordon.com. Get Gordon, get it done. More than 10,000 Louisiana residents have been served, collecting more than $3 billion, billion with a B, $3 billion in damages for their clients. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Go to getgordon.com. And, of course, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We're getting into the holiday season. Before you know it, it'll be Christmas time. And one of the things Gordon and his team does every single year is the Gordon Gives bike giveaway. So it's pretty simple. Gordon gives away 488 bicycles to children across the state of Louisiana. So it doesn't matter what corner of the state you're in. You want to enter to win one of those bicycles, you can. Go to GordonGives.com, GordonGives.com. Get Gordon. Get it done.
Let's talk turkey. Bayou Ford can get you in a new 2024 Ford F-150 with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off America's favorite F-150 truck. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Well, if you follow any of the LSU football accounts on social media, you've seen that by this point they're just trolling me. LSU's announced their uniform combo for this weekend. They're going to wear the stupid white helmets again with the purple jerseys and the white pants. This will be 7 games now, if I'm not mistaken, 7 of the 12 games this year that LSU has worn something other than their traditional gold, white, gold combination. and it's absolutely gag-worthy. It's stupid. Brian Kelly last week on the SEC Coaches Teleconference was talking about like the Unity Council, and because a lot of people say, well, who decides on the uniforms? Listen to this.
Yeah, we meet weekly. It's morale. It's we don't like the sweatsuits. Can we wear these jerseys this weekend? It's a variety of different things.
So he kind of talked a little bit about that there, the players deciding. Like I know that when they wear an alternate like the golds last week, those are planned far in advance, and those are planned with Nike. That goes back to when they started doing like the weird, the different one-offs every year, like under Ed Ogeron, where they wore those like the lost season uniforms that year in 2018, like with those sort of metallic reflective gold helmets. They wore the old gold jerseys in 2016 against Mississippi State, if you remember. So those are planned in advance. So like the gold jerseys they wore last week, that was planned in advance. They do allow, I think, the seniors, I was told to decide what they wear on senior day. So my guess is this is what maybe the seniors on the Unity Council wanted to wear. I think, in that instance, you tell them, shut up. Sit down and shut up. You don't get to decide this. Maybe not that brash. And I keep having some of you, and you're young people that just don't understand. I don't mean to be the old guy screaming at the clouds. Maybe that's what you see me as. Maybe as you get older, you'll understand this because you'll care about more than just, oh, that's swaggy and looks cool. It's the value of your brand, and your brand matters. And it's LSU talks all the time about the 3 letters. And Matt McMahon was here 2 Fridays ago, and I asked him, would you rather wear a suit or would you rather wear the quarter zip? He goes, I want to wear the quarter zip because I want the letters on my chest. I want the brand. Yeah, you want your brand on display. You want people to see it and know what it is. LSU just doesn't have that anymore. Like, this would be 7 times that you've not worn your uniform. And that means you've worn an alternate more than you've worn your uniform. And your brand has to matter. And clearly for LSU, it just doesn't anymore. And it's not like I'm not just sitting here bitching. Like, it's just, what do I always say? Actions speak louder than words. This is 7 out of 12 games you've now worn an alternate. That's more than half of your games. Like, this is an SEC opponent, LSU, Oklahoma, 2 blue bloods of the sport in Tiger Stadium, Thanksgiving weekend, rivalry weekend, and LSU's going to be wearing a stupid alternate uniform. Like, you are Missouri. That's just what you are now. You're Vanderbilt. You're Oklahoma State. You're Texas Tech. You're a team that just wears any different uniform combination you want. Like, they'll probably bust out black helmets before you know it. It's just because they think it's going to look swaggy and kids may like it. Fine. But I just think back in the history of LSU. If we go back and look at the history of LSU athletics, if I said to you, tell me the greatest moments in the history of LSU athletics, rattle some off. Muse, what's a great moment in LSU athletics history?
Any of the national championship wins.
Okay, championship wins. Paulie, give me a moment. Great play.
Bluegrass Miracle.
Bluegrass Miracle. How about Billy Cannon's run? How about Jacob Hester against Florida in 2007? How about Skylar Green against Georgia in 2003? I mean, all the greatest moments, the exception being earthquake game in 88 because they had the weird little stretch of a decade where they decided to wear purple jerseys. LSU's wearing white jerseys in all the greatest moments. Like, that is your history. That is your tradition. Like, that is your brand. And you keep just pissing on it with this. Why? It just doesn't make a lick of sense. Because the seniors want to wear an alt uniform? No. I'm sure they'd love to never practice either. Hey, Coach, can we just chill today? Like, at some point, the adult in the room has to step up and say, this isn't negotiable. Oh, y'all want steak for the pregame meal instead of fish or chicken? Cool, we'll work with you. The uniform, that's not negotiable. And it's not about what you think looks cool. Like, in a vacuum, are those white helmet, purple jersey, white pant combo? Like, if you're going to do it, can you at least match the stripes to the shoulders to the pants? Which is so stupid. You can't even match the stripes on the shoulders and the pants? What do you do? Anyway, like, sure, that looks great, but it's also not your colors. So, whatever. I'm not going to sit here and yell. I made my point. I've spoken my piece. The young ones in the crowd just, oh, man, I love it's a fire company. Shut up. It's not about that. Like, go sit down, and when you start paying your own bills, then we'll have a conversation. All right, right by South Point Volkswagen. How about pay for your own car? We'll have a conversation. SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned. By the way, South Point helps you do that. If you're a recent graduate, you get $500 off a vehicle for any recent graduate. How about that? Help make it happen. SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com. SouthPointVW.com. Sign the Drive is going on right now, y'all. And they got great Black Friday deals as well. The end of the month is the best time to buy a vehicle. It's when they got to move inventory. So you'll always get the best deals. You got Sign the Drive going on right now. 0 down, 0 due at signing, no first month's payment, no security deposit. It's the best time right now at the end of the month. And with Sign the Drive going on, check them out at South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, SouthPointVW.com. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
All right, Gators are altering their 2025 schedule and the opponent for the opener. So they'll play Long Island University in the opener. That replaces Florida A&M as one of the non-conference opponents. Long Island University is a member of the Northeast Conference. The other non-conference games for Florida next year will be South Florida, Miami, and Florida State.
The Missouri Tigers.
Senior wide receiver Mookie Cooper, he's missed Missouri's last 4 games due to an injury. He's going to have surgery that's going to effectively end his college career. Posted that on his Instagram earlier on Tuesday. He's a transfer from Ohio State, but spent 4 seasons with Mizzou, playing in 40 games, has not played since the Auburn game.
The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Bama flipped running back Jace Clarizio from Michigan State. He's a high school running back out of East Lansing who had been committed to Michigan State. Now he's flipped to the Tide, 5'11", 195. Had been committed to the Spartans, now the 22nd commit for the Crimson Tide. He's a 3-star and the nation's 35th best running back.
The Kentucky Wildcats.
Kentucky got a commitment from wide receiver Darien Miller out of Missouri, St. Louis area. Chose the Wildcats over Ole Miss, Tennessee, Colorado, USC, and others. He's a 3-star, the number 93 receiver in the country.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
And offensive tackle Braden Turnage has committed to Mississippi State. Third high school offensive line prospect. He's a big one, y'all. 6'8", 285. Had been committed to Memphis, now committed to Mississippi State, the 22nd member of the Bulldogs class. Okay, there you have it. That is around the SEC. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, Bluebonnet, Dining, Carry-Out, or Delivery. Remember, Pluckers, you like our wings? We'll give you the bird. Flipping things around a little bit, like we normally do. We'll have our Fantasy Blitz when we come back. A lot of our Thursday staples will be today because no show tomorrow or Friday. So Mike Triplett in about 18 minutes at the start of hour number 2. We'll talk some Saints-Rams. When we come back, it'll be our Fantasy Blitz. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys at whotostart.net, the numeral 2, whotostart.net. Email us, tweet us, or text your question in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways you can get involved in the show. It's AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all, tomorrow is the day, Black Friday. I've told you for years, our Moscona family tradition. Wake up on Black Friday, grab a coffee. Erica, Drew, and I head over to Clegg's, and we'll be at Clegg's on Seagan to pick out the Moscona family Christmas tree. We go real tree. If you do the artificial or pre-lit trees, they have those for you at Clegg's as well, and a great selection. But those real trees, they've got 12, 13, 14-foot trees. You can go check out their Facebook page. You see pictures. They're great selection. If you're going to be buying a Christmas tree, real tree, make sure you get by Clegg's. Any of the 4 locations. Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Speaking of the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs, y'all, Saturday is the Poinsettia Open House. Tell you about it every year. It is just rows and rows and scores of beautiful poinsettias this Saturday at the Greenwell Springs location of Clegg's Nursery.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes LUBA a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's an everyday thing here. We work horses in the mornings and we work on the property during the day, and without these John Deere tractors, it'd almost be impossible to keep up with the place. I've dealt with some of the other colors and stuff, and I never really got the response back that I get from John Deere, We really enjoy dealing with Sunshine. They're good people. They always check on us and make sure our equipment's running, and we love them. Flip the switch and learn more about what it means to be powered by Sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 9.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. After further review, this is the Fantasy Football Blitz.
Do you know who I am?
Powered by whotostart.net.
Who the hell are you?
Whotostart.net. The Fantasy Football Blitz.
Who the bitten?
This is the Fantasy Football Blitz, powered by whotostart.net.
All right, wrapping up hour number 1. Darren Tietgen, good enough to be flexible with us. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I mean, you got 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. So before you set your fantasy football roster, check with our guys at whotostart.net. Darren's with us now. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to some turkey.
Yeah, man. Turkey and football. Maybe 2 good games and 1 complete dud right in the middle of the day. But let's start with who we're keeping an eye on in the 3 games. We could start in the morning with the Bears and the Lions at 11:30 Central kickoff on CBS.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to run the ball quite a bit, put up some points. Obviously, the national TV is going to bring out Coach Campbell, bring out all the stops and probably put some points on the board. Bears will keep it close, but probably going to see a Lions win there. So start all the normal lines that you have. The middle game is a little bit of a dud, but still worth watching for fantasy purposes. The night game, we'll see how the Dolphins do in the cold.
Yeah. By the way, did you give us a thought on the middle game with the Giants and the Cowboys?
Yeah, it should be. I mean, look, if you have some players, they're going to score some points. If Jake Ferguson is out again, Luke Schoonmaker makes for a good tight end pick. I would stay away from all the running backs, maybe Tyrone Tracy for the Giants, but I'm staying away from the quarterbacks. CeeDee Lamb will probably get some targets, but other than that, it should be a pretty boring game.
What about, I would agree with that. What about with the night game? Dolphins at Packers. I mean, it's going to be 28 degrees in Lambeau. It's really hard to imagine Miami going up to Lambeau and doing a lot offensively. But anything worth keeping an eye on?
Yeah, we'll see what Jalen Waddle does. He's coming off a really good game, but obviously, like you said, Dolphins don't do good in the cold. So we'll see what that passing attack could do. Devon Achane will still get some targets. And then the Packer receivers, looks like Romeo Doubs is out. So Jaden Reed should be the heavily targeted Packer out there.
Who2start.net, the numeral 2, who2start.net. If you got personalized fantasy football questions before you set your roster, get them in. Email us, tweet us, or text us, 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Always ask for sleepers. What are we looking at?
Yeah, we got a running back. Looks like both Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson are kind of dinged up for the Commanders. So Jeremy McNichols will be the guy that fills in, and he's done so in the past this year and produced some fantasy points. So look for him if you're hurting at running back. And then Calvin Austin, wide receiver for the Steelers. We like that Steelers-Bengals game to produce some points and some points through the air. So if you need a wide receiver, Calvin Austin can help you out.
All right, you can get your questions in. You can email us, Matt, at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona or at 1045ESPN. Or you jump at the Body Forward YouTube chat, watch 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Get to your questions here. Let's start with one from Merrick, who said, who to start, Carr or Love? Quarterback question.
Yeah, obviously one's in the dome, one's in the cold. But I'm not trusting Carr just yet, just with all the question marks at receiver. I think we'll go Jordan Love there. He'll probably throw a couple touchdowns.
Darren, question's a little slow coming in right now, probably just because we're on a different day. Anything else that you want to throw out to people worth keeping an eye on this weekend?
Look at the buys next week. Obviously, we have 6 buys. So if you're bored, you're sitting around waiting to cook up that turkey tomorrow. Take a look at the waiver wire. Try to get your lineup set for next week. I'm not sure. A lot of trade deadlines have possibly already passed. I mean, might not be able to do trades. So work that waiver wire plan for next week because the fantasy playoffs are right here on us.
Wayne asked about Baker Mayfield or Joe Burrow. Who to start?
Those are 2 good quarterbacks that are going to put up some points. Obviously, Mayfield's got Mike Evans back, but I think Joe Burrow, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Bengals-Steelers game should probably put up some points. So I think I'm leaning Burrow there.
Aaron Landry asked about receiver question here, St. Brown or Sutton?
Yeah, St. Brown sounds like he banged his knee up a little bit, but sounds like he should be all right. So he should see a healthy number of targets tomorrow morning. So I think I'd go St. Brown there just for the volume of targets.
Nate, is it time to go with Bateman over Zay Flowers?
No, I mean, Bateman's kind of the boomer bust guy. Zay Flowers, gets a little bit more volume. I'm still sticking with Zay Flowers there out of those 2 Raven receivers.
Christian needs help in a PPR league at the flex spot. He's got Brian Thomas Jr. or Devontae Smith. Who to start?
Yeah, I'm going to wait till Devontae Smith is fully healthy. He's still listed as questionable for the Eagles, and they didn't even need him last week. So they'll probably let him rest. So I think I'm going Brian Thomas there. Check his injury status, though. It sounded like he was a little banged up also during the bye week. So if both guys are healthy, all things being equal, I still go Brian Thomas.
Lenson, Joe Burrow or Jared Goff? Who to start?
Yeah, I'm going Burrow there, too. Goff is going to be doing a lot of handing off to David Montgomery and to Jahmyr Gibbs tomorrow morning. So Goff will get you a couple touchdowns probably, but I think the other option is a little bit more beneficial for you.
Just took a minute to shake him, Darren. The questions started rolling in. Merrick said a Cole Kmet or Dalton Schultz. Who to start?
Those are kind of a lower tier tight ends. You're really just kind of flipping a coin there. Both guys are going to see, 6 or 7 targets. I'll go with the guy that's playing on Thanksgiving just because weird things happen, and Kmet could maybe catch a touchdown. So yeah, I'll go Kmet there.
who2start.net, the numeral 2, who2start.net. Before you set your fantasy football roster, check other guys at who2start.net. Darren's good enough to be with us every week, usually on Thursday, moving up here because of the holiday. We appreciate it, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. We'll talk to you again next week.
You as well. Thanks so much.
We appreciate it. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. If you're thinking about LASIK, maybe you've been told you're not a candidate for LASIK, so you keep shoving contacts into your eyes. Maybe you're a perfect candidate for EVO ICL. That's the implantable contact lens. That's a procedure that's been around for years. Dr. Blake's been performing it for years. It's just now becoming more popular. However, maybe you're farsighted and you're looking at a custom lens replacement. No matter your age or your refractive issue, they have a solution, but it starts with that free consultation with the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. Okay, thanks to Darren Tietgen for joining us here for our Fantasy Blitz. Mike Triplett, good enough to be flexible with us as well. Saints are back on the practice field today, but without Eric McCoy and Lucas Patrick. So who are the Saints going to be able to rely on Sunday when they take on the Rams to try to extend their winning streak to 3? Mike Triplett joins us right after SportsCenter. Hour 2 of AFR is next.
AFR.
You know, I always tell you about that patented, non-toxic dry fog treatment with Parrish Restoration. Told you about it for years, but really in the last year, our team at Parrish partnered. And so we're all under the Parrish umbrella now with Parrish Restoration. So if you have mold, think you might, sanitization, kill mold, remove odor, all that stuff, they can help at Parrish Restoration. And you can go to the website. You can see videos on the process, on that dry fog process. You can learn more about it. And if you want, you can even read the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers report. Parrish Restoration has dry fogged military facilities. If it's good enough for the United States military, and there was like a 2-inch thick report on this. You can go read it if you want at parrishbuilt.com. It's good enough for your home or school or whatever commercial building it may be. Parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial properties. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Daniel Jones has decided on his next destination. The former Giants quarterback's agreed to sign with the Vikings. His reasons: Minnesota's in playoff contention, and he gets a chance to work with a quarterback-friendly offense under coach Kevin O'Connell. ESPN NFL reporter Kimberly A. Martin.
If you're Daniel Jones, you're looking at Minnesota, you're looking at Kevin O'Connell, a guy who's paired with Kirk Cousins, a guy who's paired with Sam Darnold, and it almost feels like Minnesota's that place where QBs who teams have given up on, they go to Minnesota, and somehow he, schemes it so that you take advantage of their skill set.
ESPN's Adam Schefter reports one-year deal for Jones, $375,000. He starts out on the practice squad. Chiefs plan to activate running back Isaiah Pacheco off IR and defensive end Charles Omenihu off the PUP list in time for them to play Friday against the Raiders. Vegas will start quarterback Aiden O'Connell. Packers ruled out receiver Romeo Doubs and cornerback Jair Alexander against the Dolphins tomorrow night. And the Giants likely start Drew Lock at quarterback tomorrow at Dallas in place of the injured Tommy DeVito.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Thursday, Dolphins fans, come closer. Listen up. I know you think your team could still make the playoffs, but I'm going to tell you why my Packers are going to end your dream. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We'll talk to our buddy Eddie Radosovixh coming up here in about 15 minutes from right now. Soonerscoop.com covers the Sooners. Take a closer look at OU. Let's talk to Mike Triplett.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thoughts on the Saints kind of reworking the schedule a little bit this week with coming off the bye and then obviously with Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too dramatic. I mean, obviously, don't fix what's not broken.
Right, there it is.
Man,
there it is. There it is.
After 2 straight wins, and, don't let them eat too much and show up all fat and happy on Friday, both figuratively and literally. But, I mean, it was a bye week, and they're getting more than their usual amount of practice in this week, more than their usual amount of rest in this week. So I would think practice time and rest time gives the edge to the Saints this week, even though they're tempting fate a little bit.
Let's talk about the offensive line. We're here at the middle of the week, but no McCoy and no Patrick. Gives me a lot of not great feels right now. What can you tell us about their potential availability?
Yeah, I'm going to probably have to wait and see what it looks like on Friday. We did not see them on the practice field yesterday or today. They're not going to practice tomorrow. So that means we're not getting full strength, full go Eric McCoy, which is a shame because obviously he has meant so much to this team, as we have learned when he's been on the field and when he's been off the field. But I think the fact that they called him day-to-day, the fact that they kind of downplayed it when it first happened or said it didn't seem like anything too serious, the fact that we've seen him in the locker room this week, I bet he practices in some capacity Friday, and there's still a good chance he goes. I don't know that for sure, and I'm sure they don't want to risk re-injury that knocks him out for future games, but I still think there's a good chance of him playing. I think it's probably less optimistic with Patrick.
If either or doesn't play, what does the line look like Sunday against the Rams?
If McCoy and Patrick, or just Patrick?
Either or, the scenarios with both or either.
Yeah, I mean, look, Nick Saldiveri has now started 2 games in a row, I think, and 3 or 4 this season. So he's obviously going to be the replacement for Patrick. They don't have Connor McGovern at center anymore. So, I mean, I would think Shane Lemieux would probably be the backup center rather than moving Saldiveri or Ruiz there and then having Lemieux play guard. But, I mean, it's guys who have played this season. But obviously McCoy is the biggest one, the hardest to replace, the biggest boon when he's out there on the field. And so he's the one you really want to see out there. If they're both missing, you're kind of taping it together. At least I know Aaron Donald is not playing.
Yeah, I mean, look, they went from historic to horrific when Eric McCoy went out. And correlation doesn't always equal causation, but it's hard to ignore that component of this whole conversation. So work through the hypothetical here, Mike. If McCoy doesn't go, what's realistic to expect from the offense against the Rams?
Well, I would say this. I mean, to be probably more positive than I should be with this team, but I think, frankly, we've seen an improvement in their run game dating all the way back to that Chargers game. They went there and they averaged nearly like 6 yards a carry against the Chargers, and McCoy wasn't back for that game. And then Carolina, as bad as they were, and the game that ultimately got Dennis Allen fired, Alvin Kamara still had 225 yards from scrimmage in that game. And then obviously during this 2-game win streak with Rizzi, I mean, the first game they beat Atlanta, they didn't have McCoy back. They had McCoy back for half of this last game, but Taysom Hill was still doing things without him. So they are still doing some things well with the run game, even just by having, improved Penning, improved Fuaga, Cesar Ruiz back healthy for that whole stretch. And so, I do think this offensive group led by Clint Kubiak and Rick Dennison and John Benton, and when you give them at least 60% of offensive line health, they've shown they can be competitive at least. But it is both causation and it's all of that with Eric McCoy. They're just a world better with Eric McCoy.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett. New Orleans Football Chats brought to you by Benny's Car Wash every week. We're spending a lot of time talking about the offensive line for these obvious reasons. Mike, I think the bigger issue might be defensively, especially what the Rams did the Saints last year when they played out in L.A. So why would this be any better than it was a year ago in L.A.?
Well, the Rams took a little while to get going because of their own injuries this year, but they're so healthy now with Nakua and Kupp, and we've seen them doing that for 3 or 4 weeks. The thing that surprised me the most about the Rams, though, when we got to watch them in prime time the other night, is I guess they're having their own offensive line problems because Matthew Stafford could not stand in the pocket and get comfortable. I don't know if that's something the Saints can take advantage of. We've seen their pass rush come a little bit back to life these last 2 weeks with 3 sacks in each of their wins. They've made some tweaks to the rotation. Obviously, Brian Young now coaching that unit. They said they've gotten back to their fundamentals. Health has not been an issue for that group this year, so they need to play a big part in making sure Matthew Stafford's a little uncomfortable. But I just wrote the story today. I mean, I think regardless of opponent, I think Alontae Taylor and Kool-Aid McKinstry as 2 outside corners are about as important as anyone to watch on the entire Saints roster over the last 6 weeks of this season because, their future is at stake. Do they have a number 1 corner? Do they have a number 1 and number 2 corner? Is that a place they don't have to invest heavily? in the draft or in free agency next year. And they're obviously going to be tested by these guys, Nakua, Cup, and then Demarcus Robinson, too, who tore them up last year. And Alante Taylor really struggled in that game when he was playing in the slot. Now he's playing on the outside, and he's admittedly shown some rust going back to the outside. They're going to get tested more against this team than they probably will be for the rest of the season.
Yeah, the Saints scored a couple times within the last 6 minutes after getting down 30-7 to make it look way better than it was. But that was a thorough behind whipping out in LA last year by the Rams over the New Orleans Saints. Mike, what do you think the key will be for New Orleans if they're able to get it to 3-0 under Rizzi?
Yeah, I mean that would have been the main one, and it's not just because it's Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, but the Saints just all year long, every iteration of this team, when they were good in Dallas in Week 2, they gave up a 65-yard touchdown pass to CeeDee Lamb. When they were losing close games, they gave up 2 60-yard plays to the Eagles. When they've been winning under Rizzi, they're giving up 89-yard touchdown passes to Jerry Jeudy all year long. They have added them up this past week. 26 plays or penalties of 30-plus yards this defense has given up. And sometimes it's because they've had tackling problems and somebody's gotten through 6 tacklers bouncing off of them. Sometimes it's getting behind a defensive back. Sometimes it's 2 defensive backs crashing into each other in the middle of the field. But it's just been the one thing they've never been able to fix based on injuries, based on coaching changes. It's been the one constant problem that they haven't fixed yet. And Darren Rizzi said it was going to be a big talking point. He's been coming up with his clever props and his clever speeches. And that was the focus of this week's talking point is they can't be giving away freebies to this team. And this is a team that'll exploit that more than most you'll face. And we haven't even mentioned the name Kyron Williams, who's one of the more dynamic running backs and pass catching running backs in this league too.
2 games back in the division with 7 to go. How realistic is it that they can make a run?
Well, no, wait, 6 to go, right? Am I wrong?
11. 6 to go. Sorry, 2 back with 6 to go. # math.
And it's not really 2 games back because they cannot finish with a better division record than Atlanta will finish with a better division record. So you have to make up 3 games in 6 weeks. I don't think it's impossible for Atlanta to fall back, but 3 games in 6 weeks means what? 5-1, and Atlanta goes 2-4, maybe, but I think that's asking a lot on both ends. I think it's a lot more likely that maybe the Saints could finish 4-2 and the Falcons could finish 3-3, but it's tough. But I mean, you beat a team like the Rams and the Falcons lose, then this conversation gets a little more realistic next week. So, if we just take it 1 week at a time, Matt.
Well, you didn't blow it against Carolina, maybe.
Yeah.
But then again, if you didn't blow it against Carolina, Dennis Allen could still be the coach. So
true.
Who knows? Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Get him on Twitter, X, @Mike Triplett. Happy Thanksgiving, man. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's always our pleasure. Of course, our chats with Mike are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. It's the last chance to receive your first 3 months of being a Benny's Best Club member for only $19.99 a month. It saves you $39. The offer ends at the end of the year, so enroll today. I'm telling you, you purchase online or at any of their 9 locations. One of the best monthly investments that I make. You get the little sticker on your car, on your windshield, and you just roll through any of the Bennies, anywhere, anytime, as many times as you want. Go to bennyscarwash.com, bennyscarwash.com. All right, let's head up to Norman. Our buddy Eddie Radosovixh, Sooners Group, joins us next. Talk about the Sooners. It's AFR.
After further review.
Happy Thanksgiving from our friends over at Darren James & Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. And, of course, as we move toward the holidays, as we're moving toward the end of the year, if you're thinking of listing your home for sale before the end of the year, make sure you call Darren James, because nobody is going to work harder to get your home sold faster for more money than Darren James. Man, Darren uses the full extent of all of his marketing tools. Man, I tell you, it's incredible to see all that he does to market all of his homes, and great information as well. So go follow Darren on any of the social media platforms. You talk about how to save for a down payment, how to finance, how to do all the different things that are essential to get toward closing. And, of course, tips on selling your home as well. Agent225.com. Agent225.com is where you can find them online, or you can call Darren, 335-7666, 335-7666. That's Darren's cell. Call him, text him right now. If you need to sell your home, you need Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird. The Tigers are on the hunt. Let's head behind enemy lines to preview this week's matchup.
Tigers and Sooners in the regular season for the first time ever. This could be the beginning of a beautiful relationship around Thanksgiving. We'll see how it manifests on the field. Our buddy Eddie Radosovixh, who boldly told us that they were going to come in year one and beat up Vanderbilt or somebody like that, so just like the first day in prison. Well, that might have been a problem with Vanderbilt this year. Eddie, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
We've requested house arrest because I don't think Oklahoma wants to get anywhere near a prison. Mr. Moscona, how are we, sir?
Come on, Eddie Moscona, long O. We've done this enough times. Long O, long O. Scona. I'm not calling you Radosovixh. Come on.
By the time I get to the Louisiana state line on Friday, we will have this corrected.
I appreciate it. Hey, first run through the SEC for OU. What have been the general impressions there?
Love the passion, love the atmospheres, love everything about the conference except for the scoreboard at the end of the fourth quarter most times. It's been rough. I think it's been rough. Obviously their offensive problems well documented. Had to fire Seth Luttrell coming out of South Carolina week, and If it's not been one thing, it's another. Just to give you perspective, they're going into Saturday. They'll be down their top 6 wide receivers that they would have had at the beginning of August. And for the better part of the entirety of the year, they haven't had any. They've had 5 of 6, basically. Brennan Thompson's been available. So it's been rough. And, I think it's certainly been a little bit of a learning moment for a lot of people within the program. And, coming off the Alabama win, vibes are better. But, it's much probably like LSU or what it looks like from the outside looking in that it could be better. And, the fan base is certainly riled up right now.
How much of these struggles, Eddie, are the issues on the roster? How much are injuries, sort of thing? How much of it is just a big step up in competition relative to what OU maybe had been used to seeing in the Big 12?
Yeah, I would say probably 30% injuries, 30% mismanagement of a roster. They went out and got some guys in the portal that it's taken time for them to come along on the offensive line. And, I certainly think that injuries have played a factor in that. You have another part in which Jackson Arnold and the quarterback situation with Oklahoma. So it's been a little bit of everything, to be completely honest with you. And I think that that's maybe the most frustrating thing is it seems like, okay, you get a couple guys back and then, Jackson plays poorly. You feel like you get going and then they have some turnovers. So it's been rough offensively. Obviously, a lot of the issues within games have been because of the offense, and they've kind of been searching. And I guess big picture wise, the big talk around here is what they're going to do with the offense coordinator job. And it's a big hire for Brent Venables. He has to get it right, or he will be on certainly a hotter seat than it probably already is.
You and I talked in Dallas, and I asked you specifically about Dillon Gabriel, and you correct me if I'm misinterpreting what you said, but generally speaking, the feeling was it was known that Dillon Gabriel wasn't going to be the guy after 2023 because they were going to hand the reins over to Jackson Arnold.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any regret there at that decision right now?
Certainly the way that Jackson has looked at times and just the unpreparedness, I guess, of what he is as a quarterback right now. There's probably a little bit of that, but at the same time, I think that Oklahoma's problems offensively have been specific with the quarterback. Until the last couple of weeks when they started playing a couple younger guys, we're talking about an offensive line that truly might be one of the worst units Oklahoma's put on the field of my lifetime, which is 37 years. So, they've been really kind of punished for recruiting classes in 2021, 22, a little bit of 2020 that just haven't come together and didn't come to fruition. And a lot of those guys aren't with the program anymore, so they had to go out to the portal. And, I don't know how much of it is just misevaluation in the portal or just the flat out that there's not a whole lot of guys that are going to be able to come in and make a difference, let alone, get 5 new starters in there. So those have been problems. The injuries have been, certainly a problem. It's kind of a guessing game on who's available week to week. And then, obviously the offense coordinator situation was kind of nasty. I mean, they had to make a move with Seth Luttrell, and they've kind of found their way, maybe found an idea. I mean, we're talking about an offense that, coming out of the 10th game of the year in Alabama, it's like, okay, maybe they do have an identity. It's taken a long while, but, it's certainly going to be interesting with the quarterback position, what happens when they do find a new OC.
So it's a good segue. So LSU has struggled this year, notably against running quarterbacks. Jackson Arnold ran for 130 against Alabama, only threw it 11 times. Did they find something against Bama that they can play forward against LSU?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they found something that maybe they can lean on, but I think it's a little naive to think they're going to be able to just throw the ball 11 times for 68 yards like they did last week against Alabama and go down and win a night game in Death Valley. So I think that they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit. I do think they're going to lean on the ground game, and it's certainly something that had become an issue with Jackson just in terms of running the football. He turned the ball over quite a bit. And they have found something. Xavier Robinson's kind of popped onto the scene as well, a running back that truly was looking. He was working scout team a month ago, and he's a local product out of Midwest City, just north of Norman. And he's been really, really good over the last 6-ish quarters. But to think that, and he's a guy that had some fumbling issues in practice, going all the way back into the early onset of the season. So they found something. But, I mean, we're talking about an offense that has been so bad at times this year. You really just don't know if they can do it from week to week, and it's certainly going to be interesting. They have been able to run the ball a little bit, even starting with the Ole Miss game a couple weeks ago. That has been a consistent thing for Joe John Finley since he's taken over play calling duties.
Eddie Radosovixh is with us, Soonerscoop.com. Pretty consistently, though, we have seen Oklahoma's defense play well. I mean, I remember back to the Tennessee game. I mean, that was a pretty eye-opening performance at that night game in Norman to limit that, what at the time everybody thought was high-flying Tennessee offense. So what do they do exceptionally well defensively right now through 11 games?
Stop the run. That's been a consistency all year, and they're coming off of obviously their best game of the year defensively, maybe one of the better defensive performances just as a whole against Alabama that this fan base had seen in multiple, and maybe even decades. 2004 against Texas, the 12-0 win is kind of the common game that has been brought up here over the last couple of days in kind of the wake of the Alabama game. But they've been able to stop the run, and that's been something that they've been very, very good about. The front seven they feel like is decent enough that they've been able to do just that. And when they've been beat over the top, it's been over the top is when they've been beat. So I think that the worry or the concern going into Saturday night's game is can Nussmeier take advantage of them? They've been taking advantage of, as maybe saw in the Missouri game in the final 2 minutes of the game, which is still insane that you're up 7 with 2 minutes left and lost by 7 in regulation. But it's not so much of a concern when you talk about what they've been able to do against the run. So it's a really good unit. I think that, Brent Venables talks about, are they elite status? Not quite yet, but, it's a far cry from what fans have seen, what Oklahoma was able to put together or out there defensively under Lincoln Riley. It's almost kind of night and day, which is ironic when you look at the offense, and that is night and day from what people are used to around here.
Hey, what do you think? So the issues in the pass defense, if LSU keeps Garrett Nussmeier upright, he can hit his back foot and throw it a little bit. Like, how do you think that matchup plays out Saturday night?
Yeah, it'd be really interesting. Obviously, outside of Lacey, I don't think that, certainly the names aren't the guys that Oklahoma saw the last time around when they played in the Peach Bowl. But at the same time, they have been very good. And I think that, you're starting to see something of a secondary that I think that moving forward, Oklahoma fans will be truly happy with. Their best cornerback right now is a true freshman. Peyton Bowen's little brother, Eli Bowen. He had the pick in the Alabama game on Saturday. They've kind of gone through it with that other cornerback position, but the back end's been really good at safety. That's probably one of the stronger units that they have on the team. So they've been tested, and at the same time, the guys that have made plays they've been exceptional plays, and it's almost kind of one of those like, what else can you do? That was a great pitch and catch. So I think they feel like this defense, as bad as the record may look, it's kept them in every game, maybe outside of the South Carolina game that was over 9 plays into it. And that had nothing to do with the defense. That had, direct response to 3 turnovers immediately out of the gate. So they've kept them in ball games. A lot of the games you leave, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you've said, the defense has done good enough. They just didn't have any help on the other side of the ball.
Such a wild thing to think about with Oklahoma. What a wild time to be in right now. And what's the mood around Sooner fans? Like, how many people are planning on making Thanksgiving weekend? How many plan to make this trip to Baton Rouge? Are people excited for it?
Yeah, I think there's certainly, again, this is catching me the week after they beat Alabama. If you would have talked to me last week, I probably would have said a little bit opposite. But I think that they're definitely rejuvenated to a certain extent. It's an Oklahoma fan base that I think is still excited for, things to come in the future. But I've talked to quite a few people that are going down to Baton Rouge, and certainly an excuse to get down to New Orleans for the weekend. And it should be fun. I think there's a lot of people that are excited about it. Anybody that's not excited about going to see Tiger Stadium or kind of the spectacle that is Baton Rouge on a game day, they're probably either lying to themselves or just not a college football junkie in general.
the difference for OU between 6-6 and 7-5, big picture, not really that big of a deal for what programs like LSU and Oklahoma are used to winning and competing for. What would be the difference for Brent Venables in this program between 6-6 and 7-5?
At the end of the day, probably not a whole lot. I don't think that Brent's going to be fired at the end of the year. I think we've kind of passed that window, but or that discussion. But I do think for an optics standpoint and just a general trajectory of the program, for the way that we were talking about this team, probably 2-3 weeks ago, it pales in comparison to what the vibes would be around the program if they could finish 7-5, get to a bowl game, and then all of a sudden maybe you win a bowl game, and if you could finish 8-5 on the year, my God, that's completely different. They've been recruiting well, certainly going to keep an eye on everything that comes with National Signing Day or whatever it's called, this time of the year, or this, I guess, for the first time. But offensive line group really, really good. Obviously, Michael Fasusi, a 5-star offensive tackle out of Louisville. He's kind of the prize out of that group. And if they can hold on to him and keep this thing intact, I think that there is still a general feeling that there's a belief in Brent Venables. They just got to go find a really good offensive coordinator that can turn this thing around offensively.
Eddie Radosovixh, Soonerscoop.com. Hey, man, happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels down to Baton Rouge, man. Good to chat as always.
Matt, I appreciate it, and happy Thanksgiving to you as well, and hopefully run into you on Saturday.
We'll look forward to it, man. Be well.
Yeah.
That is Eddie Radosovixh, Soonerscoop.com. Get him on Twitter at Eddie_Rado, R-A-D-O. Well, now I got a quick break. A little what to watch when we return. It's AFR.
After further review.
Brought to you by Glow Resources, GLO, glowresources.com. They are complete employer solutions, Glow Resources, and glowresources.com. Heading toward 2025. If you're going to be making some hires, or maybe one big hire in 2025, maybe it's skilled blue-collar labor, maybe it's any type of white-collar job, Glow Resources can help find the right people. See, in a given day, Glow Resources conducts about 50 interviews. So over the course of a year, they'll conduct more than 10,000 interviews over the course of a year. And when you do one thing that many times throughout the course of a year, you become really good at it. And part of the reason Glow Resources is so good at finding the right people for your job is they know where to look, they know the right questions to ask to make sure they get qualified people for your job. They do it on your timeline. It's Glow Resources. Check them out online at GLO, glowresources.com. Complete employer solutions.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off the newly designed Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, glad you're with us as we roll along here. Pick some games coming up to start hour number 3. We'll also pick Saints Rams, LSU Oklahoma. We'll get through a lot of our Friday stuff in hour number 3. We do have Lee Sterling in 10 minutes to preview the biggest games of the weekend, so we'll get to all that. We're brought to you by Michele Weighing and Measurement, Michele.com, Michele.com. Muse, Paulie, and I will get to what to watch here in just a quick second. 3 things for each of us to watch, but of course you weigh or measure something at Michele. They sell, service, rent the products you use to weigh and measure. Our nation's largest distributor of scales. Remember, a local company still based in the New Orleans area. Their corporate headquarters are in Harahan. They've been around for more than 75 years. They've now got more than 30 locations, 6 in the state of Louisiana, 30 different locations and calibration labs across more than a dozen states. It's Michele Weighing and Measurement, ISO 17025 accreditation. Get to the website, hit the services tab, see everything that they offer over at Michele Weighing and Measurement. Michele.com. At Michele, we show the world what measurement can do. Michele.com. Okay, what to watch?
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All right. 3 things Muse, Paulie, and I will give you as we start out the football weekend on Thanksgiving.
We'll start on Thanksgiving.
It's a special night.
I'm keeping
Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right. Adam Sandler Thanksgiving song. Hurry up, Muse. We got Lee Sterling in 9 minutes.
We're starting on Thanksgiving. Tulane and Memphis, pair of 9-2 teams going at it down there in Yeoman, but big implications in this game for Tulane. Obviously, the wave up to 17 in the playoff rankings. Ward Manuel last night actually said they like Tulane an awful lot. We've talked plenty on this show about the potential doomsday scenario for a Big 12. 9 teams with a chance to make it to the title game there. Could they get left out? Who knows? But Tulane has to win first. See if they can get it done on Thursday.
I'm watching South Carolina and Clemson. Clemson is 9-2, South Carolina 8-3. What's at stake? Perhaps a college football playoff spot for Clemson. Cade Klubnik. He's completing 63% of his passes for 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the season. Lenore Sellers, he has 13 of his 17 touchdowns the past 5 games, and he's had his first 2 300-yard passing games in his last 2 weeks.
Got to keep an eye on the Falcons. Talked to Mike Triplett earlier. The Saints are 2 games back a record, but also with the division, they lose a tiebreaker, so they're really 3 games with 6 to go. Atlanta plays the Chargers this week. Remember, Chargers Monday Night Football at home. Now have to travel across the country to Atlanta on a short week. The Chargers are a 1.5-point favorite. I actually like Atlanta to win the game outright. That's one of my favorite plays of the weekend, just a spot that's impossible for the Chargers. But we'll keep an eye on it.
The most important game in the SEC this week is Texas and Texas A&M. If I would have told you that 3-4 years ago, what would you have said?
I'd have said I believe you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, how about 5 years?
Well, maybe different. Well,
5 years.
I believe it still.
Okay.
Very unsettled. But 3 years ago is when this was, 2021 is when it was announced Texas was coming in.
That's true. Well, it's here. And it is. A spot in the SEC championship up for grabs. A&M's really the 3-loss team with the realest shot out of the SEC to still make it because they can go to Atlanta, but they have to beat Texas first. You look at Texas, everyone's asked, who have they beaten? This is their chance finally for a signature win on the season and securing a rematch with Georgia to avenge their only loss. And oh, by the way, it's the first time they've played the rivalry in well over a decade. Kyle Field's going to be rocking. It should be great theater on Saturday night.
I'm going to be watching the Eagles-Ravens. The Ravens are sitting at 8-4. The Eagles 9-2. The Eagles have won 7 straight. The Ravens are coming off that Monday night win over the Chargers. The Ravens have struggled more recently than the Eagles. Both teams are expected to make a deep playoff run. Could this be a potential Super Bowl matchup? We'll see.
Notre Dame at USC. It's pretty simple. If Notre Dame wins, they're in the playoff. They're 10-1 right now. There's no conference championship game. If they win, they're currently ranked 5th. So if they win, they are in. So Notre Dame at Southern Cal. You get a surging Notre Dame team against USC on the road. A 6-5 Trojans team, which has lost a lot of close games. They'd love nothing more than to upset Notre Dame's season. It would be interesting if Notre Dame takes another L, if they could get in as a 2-loss team. Hard to imagine with that ugly Northern Illinois loss, but Notre Dame is effectively playing for a playoff spot Saturday against the Trojans.
Started on Thanksgiving. We'll wrap it up on Thanksgiving. Lions and Bears. The intrigue for me in this game, the intrigue in this game for me solely lies with two things. So I guess not solely. Detroit is on a hell of a winning streak. 5 of their last 7, they've won by double digits. They're a 9.5-point favorite. I kind of just want to see if they can keep dominating because the lines have kind of, you would think, have been inflated. And also, the Eagles are right on their tail. The Lions, they want that number 1 seed. They have to keep winning. They got an inferior Bears team in. This is one you have to have.
I'm keeping an eye on Monday Night Football, Browns and Broncos.
No, you're not.
Why in the world would I do that?
I don't believe you at all.
It's against our old buddies, Jameis Winston against Sean Payton.
Oh!
So, yeah, the Broncos looking to make a playoff push. Bo Nix finding himself in the NFL. Jameis and the Browns have found something. The Broncos, they will not catch the Chiefs, but they could make a wild card run.
The Territorial Cup.
Go on.
Do you know the Territorial Cup?
I do not know.
Not off the top of my head. No.
Arizona State.
Ah.
Territorial Cup.
That is actually a pretty big game this week.
It's massive.
Yeah.
It's in Tucson.
Yeah.
And Arizona has won the last 2. Arizona's not having a great year. They're 4-7. But you got Noah Fafita and you got T-Mac in there. Pretty good offensive team. They can still get going a little bit. Obviously, they lost Jed Fish to Washington this year. But if you're a Tulane fan and you want Tulane in the playoff, there's one pretty surefire way to make it happen. You need all kind of chaos. Well, you got to win out. And you need all kind of chaos in the Big 12. And if Arizona goes and upsets Arizona State, and now you're talking about a potential 3-loss Big 12 champion, there's a path for a 2-loss Tulane to win the American and be ranked higher than a 3-loss Pac-12, Big 12 champion. So you're a Tulane fan, you want Tulane in the playoff, you are rooting mightily for Arizona in Tucson this weekend. There you have it. That is what we are watching this football weekend. It's After Further Review, brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Then we turn the page. It will officially be a countdown to Christmas. And gents, if you are like our friend Matthew Griswold Musso, preparing to drop down on bended knee and pop the question, why would you go anywhere other than Lee Michaels? Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 9 locations, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and online at lmfj.com. You'll always get the Lee Michaels experience at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Okay, final break of hour number 2. We'll come back. We'll do our best bets with Lee Sterling, see what Lee's got on the docket, see if he's got a winner for us with Saints Rams and LSU OU. We'll get to that. We'll do our pick 'em coming up here in hour number 3. Lot to do. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Yo, even though it's Wednesday and tomorrow's Thanksgiving, I want to remind you, if on Thanksgiving Day you have an issue with your home central AC or your heater, depending on what the weather elects to do. I mean, 75 degrees right now, but supposedly like Friday, the high is like 58. Anyway, if you have an issue, call River City's 1 Hour Air. Remember, nights, holidays, weekends, they're always there. And they'll never charge you extra to come out nights, holidays, weekends. I've told you the story before. There was an Easter Sunday where we got home from our family crawfish boil. AC in the house was out. Called River City's 1 Hour Air just thinking, okay, let me get on the schedule for tomorrow. We had the technician at our house after 5 o'clock on Easter Sunday. They could do the same for you, nights, holidays, weekends. So if you have an issue with your AC on Thanksgiving or Black Friday or this weekend, no worries. River City's 1 Hour Air can help. 752-0001, 752-0001. For River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
Let's talk turkey. Bayou Ford can get you in a new 2024 Ford F-150 with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off America's favorite F-150 truck. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
All right, wrapping up hour number 2. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. Looking forward to tomorrow. I don't think you know about this. So at our Thanksgiving, I think we have 31 or 32 attending. My 2 daughters who are 25 and 27, this is the 14th year they do a turkey bake-off.
Okay.
So here's what happens. So one of my daughters normally makes a banana cream pie, and she had been winning probably 3 out of 4 years. And all of a sudden had trouble. I think she's lost 2 of the last 3 years. It's been a little bit soupy, and it's a little too soft. So she has changed it up, and she's going with an apple pie. She won't tell me. Sounds like she's got something special planned, but My other one always does a huckleberry pie.
Okay.
You ever had a huckleberry pie
I
before?
can't say that I have, Lee.
Okay. You've had probably blueberry, right?
Sure.
Like it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, look,
Okay.
I've lost a bunch of weight, but I'm a fat guy. If it's got sugar in it, I'm generally
How about a boysenberry pie?
down. Let's just same point here, right? I mean, if
Okay.
it's got sugar, I'm in.
Okay. Huckleberry pie is even better than those two.
Okay.
So the huckleberry pie is a minus 160 favorite.
I was waiting for it.
This is so you can watch it on Twitter at Paramount Sports or X, whatever they call it now. And we will probably have it up probably by 5:15, 5:20 your time.
Okay.
So you'll see a bunch of people in the background from our house, and people come from the neighborhood and stand in the patio
Okay.
to watch the judging.
Maybe not as competitive as what's going to happen at Yulman Stadium in Uptown New Orleans.
Yeah.
The Wave are a 14-point favorite against Memphis on Thanksgiving. A lot to play for still for the Wave. What do you think?
Yeah, and crazy thing is, most people don't even realize these two teams have the same record. If you told this to even 100 sports fans, I think 95 wouldn't realize that.
Yeah.
But I do think Tulane's better. They can run the football, but Memphis can run. I mean, Mario Henderson, 1,115 yards and 16 touchdowns. Rock Taylor, big play guy, almost 14 yards of reception. They just don't push the ball down the field enough. But I think this line, this was played 3 or 4 weeks ago. This line would be like 6.5, 7.
Oh, wow.
I think it's too high. I think Tulane's going to win the game 31-25, but I'm going to take the 2 touchdowns in Memphis.
Okay. What about Tennessee and Vandy? It's simple. Tennessee wins. They're in the playoff. They got to take care of Vandy. They're looks like an 11-point favorite right now. Vols get it done?
Yeah, I think they will. And, this has been the craziest year. I mean, we've seen results, like the Georgia game punches Texas in the face. And then Alabama last week loses to Oklahoma, gets blown out. So some things make no sense, but I will tell you, that Tennessee just has a big advantage in the trenches here. And generally late in the season, this is where you see Vanderbilt. They just don't have the talent. They don't have the depth. And then Diego Pavia is going to have to just make some plays here. I think it's great for college football. I want him to get another year. It's great for Vanderbilt football. But they just don't match up here unless they hit on some big plays or Tennessee turns the ball over 3 or more times. Tennessee 38-21.
Lee Sterling's with us, ParamountSports.com. Bounce back for Bama after falling in Norman. They're an 11.5-point favorite over Auburn.
Yeah, Auburn. I mean, it's crazy. Whoever thought they'd jump out to a 21-0 lead?
I know, man.
I think you saw more about what Auburn's true team is right now in the second half. Hey, give the coaching staff credit. He's pulled them together just like Florida. We thought these two teams were dead, but they held on. I do think that A&M helped them out. I thought A&M not calling a timeout with like 15 seconds to go was a huge mistake. If we would have seen Auburn run a play and the quarterback gets sacked, or a running back or wide receiver catches the ball and stays in regulation, doesn't get out of bounds, the game would have been over. So huge mistake there, but I think Peyton Thorne will throw a couple interceptions here, and I look for Milroe to bounce back. I like Alabama here, 35-14.
Okay, Alabama big over Auburn. Maybe the biggest environment of the entire season, Lee, is what's going to happen at Kyle Field. Texas A&M, they'll renew the rivalry, and you got a spot in Atlanta for the SEC championship game on the line. Aggies are a 5-point home dog. Got a live dog at home?
Normally, I look to taking home underdog with a better defense in a conference game, especially at night. But Texas, number 2 defense, 247 yards per game allowed, which is incredible. The Aggies, usually a team that's playing for a chance to get into the SEC championship game, top 20, top 30 in defense, they rank 56, allowing 356 yards per game here. Texas just plays close to their potential. They're going to win this game. In the next couple of years, we're going to see a ton of players drafted the first, second, third round from Texas. They're that talented. I think Texas gets the job done, 27-20, but it should be competitive.
And they won the last one in the rivalry that we saw at Kyle Field. See if they can win the renewal as well. Before we get to LSU and OU, the free play this week is Saints-Rams from the Dome. How do they get it?
Yep, I'm going to give them the Saints-Rams, and how about this? Also give them Notre Dame and USC.
Nice.
Notre Dame loses, they could be out. So I'm going to give them both games, Rams, Saints, and Notre Dame USC. All they need to do if they want to get both games for free, call 800-400-9741. Give it to them for free, 800-400-9741. And we have what's called our Turkey Shootout. It's 15 games starting tomorrow, going all the way through Monday night. We've had, in the last 6 years, we've had a 13-2, a 12-3, and 11-4 record 3 of the 6 years.
Ooh.
So if you want to give it a try, 15 games. It's a downloadable product. As soon as you get it, pops up all 15 games, so you don't have to call me back the next couple days. 15 plays, Turkey Shootout, just $97.
Awesome.
ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com. ParamountSports.com. Okay, Lee, LSU wraps up the regular season. LSU OU for the first time in the regular season. Tigers are a 6-point home favorite. Finally got that win this past week against Vanderbilt. They keep it rolling?
Yeah, I think LSU is going to. Underwhelming down the stretch. 3 straight losses by double digits. Beat Vanderbilt by 7. Pair that with Oklahoma's upset of Alabama, and we have a massively discounted line here. The Sooners' offense, I think, still remains missing in action. You remove the games against Temple, Maine, and Tulane, and they've got a season high of 27 points and are averaging just 16.4 points per game in conference. They threw for just 68 yards against the Tide, but benefited from those 3 turnovers here. So I think Garrett Nussmeier has a big game here, throws for 250 plus. I like LSU here, 31-21.
Lee Sterling, ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com, or call for that free play, 800-400-9741, 800-400-9741. Happy Thanksgiving, Lee. We appreciate it as always, man. We'll talk again next week.
Sounds good. Take care. Be safe.
You will. That is Lee Sterling. It's after further review. Sports Center coming right at you. We'll kick off hour 3 with some college football picks.
AFR.
Brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com with locations all over South Louisiana. And, man, they got the Black Friday specials going right now over at Shawbills. Go to ShawbillsTire.com. And you can see all the deals that they're offering right now, these exclusive Black Friday deals with great deals from today all the way through December the 2nd. So you can go to the website to learn more, but we're talking about instantly $80 off Michelin tires, $60 off BF Goodrich tires, $40 off Firestone, Bridgestone, Nitto, Toyo, and free installation, which is a $118 value when you use your Shawbills credit card. That's on top of all of the regularly scheduled promos. So you go to the store, full details, or you can go to ShawbillsTire.com, of course, subject to credit approval. ShawbillsTire.com. Happy Thanksgiving from Shawbills, where we keep you rolling.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Atmos Energy, our Smart Choice solutions help customers save energy and emissions with rebates up to $500 off high-efficiency natural gas appliances, smart thermostats, and weatherization upgrades. Together, we're fueling our energy future.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, party plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com. Oh, by the way, we do shutters too.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Daniel Jones gets a fresh start. The former Giants quarterback signing with a playoff contender as he preferred, the Vikings. One-year deal for the rest of the season, $375,000, reports ESPN's Adam Schefter. Jones will start out on the Vikings practice squad. Minnesota's a game back of NFC North leading Detroit and 5th in the NFC. Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins week to week with a sprained MCL. L.A. should be able to weather the absence of Dobbins, 4th in the AFC in rushing, believes CBS NFL analyst J.J. Watt.
You play good defense, keep points off the board. You still have Justin Herbert. You sling that ball around a little bit more. I mean, it's a tough division. Like you said, it's not that division is brutal. When you play good defense, you can do a lot of things, especially late in the year. And Jesse Minter has that defense playing good ball.
J.J. Watt on the Pat McAfee Show. Chargers 6th in the AFC, 3 back of AFC West leading Kansas City. Chiefs plan to activate running back Isaiah Pacheco off IR and defensive end Charles Omenihu off the PUP list in time for them to play Friday against Vegas. The Raiders will start quarterback Aiden O'Connell.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive offers a great price and round-the-clock protection when bundling home and auto. It's one of those rare times where you could save money and get something great. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You serve. And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. No show on Thursday, for Thanksgiving. No show on Friday and Black Friday. We normally work Black Friday, but we'll have games airing on our air here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge all day on Friday. And we'll take the day and see how it goes. And we'll be back on Monday to talk LSU and Oklahoma, Saints, Rams, all that good stuff. But since we'll miss Friday, we figured let's go ahead and do our college football pick'em here. We're kind of blending 3 shows all together. So we welcome aboard Mr. The Riot. How are you, Mr. The Riot?
Hey, Matt. I'm doing good.
Great.
Traffic in Baton Rouge is ridiculous right now. I don't know what these folks are doing, but this is the dumbest thing in the world. My guess is they're on their way to celebrate a fake holiday that really should never exist. Thanksgiving's the stupidest thing in the world. We're celebrating.
No.
We're celebrating folks getting conquered, right? That's what's happening. The Indians and the Pilgrims did not sit down and eat dinner together peacefully. That didn't happen.
How do you know? You weren't there.
I don't know that, but I don't think that they did.
And by the way,
History
I don't
says
care if they
didn't.
did. I don't care if they did or not. You know what this means? This is an opportunity for us to get together with our families, to take some time off of work, to pause, to give thanks for all the wonderful things that we have in our lives, to eat great food, to watch football, to drink red wine and old fashions, and kick back. I mean, I'm for that. Like, why would you be pissed about that? Like, you're just being angry about something to be angry about something. If that's
No, it's made up holiday, and then those are all great things, and I'm thankful.
You know what I think? I think this is also because like
things.
you haven't had a job your entire life, like like a job where you got to go like a 9 to 5. I mean, so you don't know like what that is, man. Like that's a big deal for people to be able to say, I'm taking a long weekend.
Oh, come on.
What?
No, I mean, listen, the long weekend. Don't give me that. That's dumb.
Again, from a guy that's never had a traditional 9 to 5. You went to college, you went and played pro ball, you're done. Now you own businesses. Like you don't have a 9 to 5. You've never had a 9 to 5.
I would argue, though. That I don't have a Monday through Friday.
That's exactly what I just said.
9 to 5.
Yeah.
I could have a 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, welcome to my
Monday
life.
Monday to Monday.
Welcome to
you
my
know
life.
what I mean? Like all day, every day.
You want to compare schedules? You want to do that?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll go.
I'll
go with anybody.
It is what it is. I'm not saying that you work harder than me or I work harder than you. I'm just saying Thanksgiving. This is what I'm saying.
What
this
you
is
gonna
a
do
made-up
tomorrow?
holiday.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's great.
Okay.
What you gonna do tomorrow?
Go Indians. American Indians.
What you gonna do tomorrow?
Conquered by the Pilgrims, stupid Europeans.
No, they weren't conquered by the Pilgrims.
Oh, they were conquered.
They
were conquered.
They were just.
They gave them smallpox. They gave them. Oh yeah, absolutely.
What are you gonna?
They gave them COVID. COVID was invented during Thanksgiving.
What are you gonna do tomorrow?
You
gonna go to work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always working.
No.
Like,
Like,
am I going to go to the office physically?
Yeah.
Probably not. No.
So what are you gonna do tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow we're going to go to Mississippi.
Okay.
We're going to hang out with family and friends.
Oh, with family and friends. Got it. Cool. On a Thursday.
Yep.
What did you do last Thursday?
I don't remember what I did last Thursday.
Do you want to just give me some generalities?
I probably went to work.
Yeah.
And then,
so instead of that,
girls probably had a soccer game.
So instead of that, you're going to not do that. You're going to go hang out with your family, extended family. You need some good food.
There'll be some good food there, but I can do that any day.
Yeah.
I don't have to mask it with a fake holiday. That's what I'm saying. I don't have to mask that.
Hey, but do you?
I'm not dressing up as a pilgrim or an Indian.
I didn't ask
you. I'm not
you to.
doing it.
I didn't ask you to. By the way,
John is trying to convince me to dress up as an Indian. I'm not doing it.
That doesn't
not
surprise
mocking
me.
my heritage.
That doesn't surprise me one iota. I know that there's a lot of cosplay and a lot of stuff going on there where y'all might want to. I don't like. What do you like? Christmas, Valentine's Day, holidays. You're always dressing up for holidays, right? So I get it. If you don't want to do that,
dress up.
But that's no doubt. But that's not a reason. I'm trying to be careful. I'm choosing my words very carefully here. But that's not a reason to poo-poo a day, regardless of why we get the day, to pause, to give thanks, to spend time with family, to eat great food, to watch some football, and relax a little bit, man. Recharge the batteries. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to make up a day. I mean, I'm going to make up one. That's not around the conquering of a group of people.
I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish you would make up a day. Make up a day, and I'll give our staff off, and we'll take the day and go spend time with family and do things that really matter in life.
I was a little shocked by your text, and I appreciate you having me on and not giving me zeros. I told Muse, I'm not prepared. I can't do this.
Yeah.
And his response was, Brian, you're never prepared.
Yeah.
Well, what are you talking about? I'm like, fair enough. Muse.
Well,
I got you.
I think that actually happened in reverse because I heard the conversation, and I heard Muse say, well, fair enough. So you must have said, well, I'm never prepared.
Basically. Something like that. It was the never prepared thing. Something like that. So yeah, man, let's do it. I'm fired up about
All right,
it.
here
How
we go.
doing? How did I do last week?
Hit the music there. So if you remember last week, Paulie wasn't here, so he sent Cassie our games from 2 weeks ago, although Paulie sent the graphic from last year.
That's right.
I think Paul was ready to get the hell on down the road. All right, so Paulie, 2 weeks ago, how did we do? I think I had a good week. So 2 weeks ago, I went 8-2, and you went 5-5.
Yep.
So I gained on you. Okay.
Yeah.
So my overall record going into this past weekend was 66-39. You were 68-37. So you were I was back 2 games.
Okay.
And you might recall last week I did a dumb thing and I picked Vanderbilt to beat LSU.
Okay.
You're a homer and you pick LSU to win every game. So you gained a game on me as I went 5-5 and you went 6-4. So as it stands with this week and then next weekend's championship games, you are currently 3 games ahead of me. You are 74-41. I am 71-44. And I could still kick myself for just taking some of those shots early in the season. Should have taken this a little more measured approach, but it's what it is. I got 2 weeks to make up 3 games. I've done it before. We'll do it again here. All right.
Yeah.
So 10 games. Here we go. We'll start with the game on Thanksgiving Day in Uptown New Orleans. It'll be Memphis, who is 9-2 on the season, going into Yulman Stadium to take on Tulane, also at 9-2 on the season. Memphis at Tulane.
Yeah, I like Tulane here, playing good ball. Got some good things going down there. Give me the green wave.
All right, going with the wave. I'll take Tulane at home as well. All right, South Carolina at Clemson. This is rivalry week, so you can have a lot of rivalry games this weekend. South Carolina at Clemson.
I gotta pick Clemson here. I gotta go with Dabo and Clemson here, just because it's at home. I do like South Carolina a lot, but I think Clemson's going to get them.
All right, this is a chance for me to get a game back from you because I'm going to go South Carolina. We'll go head-to-head on that one. All right, Notre Dame is at Southern Cal. That is This is a 2:30 game on CBS. The Fighting Irish, a win. They're in the playoff. SC's been playing better ball lately. A lot of close losses. Notre Dame at USC.
Man, I hate Notre Dame, but Jordan Clark plays there, so I'm going to pick Notre Dame. I really like Jordan. I think he's a wonderful kid and great player. And so give me the Irish because of Jordan.
I'll take Notre Dame as well, just because they're better and they have everything to play for. Although, you know, the interesting thing about USC is when you look at their losses, they lost by 3 to Michigan in a game that they controlled throughout. They lost in overtime to Penn State, a game they controlled throughout. They lost by a touchdown to Minnesota. And the Washington game was one they gagged away as well, 26-21. Like, they've lost 5 games, but they've all been close where they just gagged it at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a really, really close ball game, but I will take Notre Dame as well. All right, in the ACC, the traditional ACC matchup of Cal at SMU.
And I really don't know a whole lot about either one of these teams. I think SMU's been spending a lot in the portal. I think they're pretty decent this year. I know Cal won a game last week, though, right? Give me SMU. Give me SMU in this one.
All right, I'll take SMU as well at home. Give me the Ponies. Auburn at Bama, the Iron Bowl. Can Auburn go on the road and get it done? Bounce back for Bama.
Man, oh man, oh man. Auburn at Bama. If this game was at Auburn, I would pick those guys. But give me Alabama in this one.
Will bounce back for Bama, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I desperately want to pick Auburn in this game because I really, really think, I legitimately think Auburn, big win last week. Bama got upset. I think this is one of those spots where Bama, 3 losses, they lay down and quit. Auburn feeling themselves, plays sky high, and Auburn's actually been pretty good this year. And I don't think Bama's very good. It's very hard for me to pull the trigger because of the field storm fade. Last week, Auburn won a big game. Their fans stormed the field. And now you got to go on the road to play your rival. I'm going to my field storm fade angle, and I'm going to go with Alabama, but I have very little confidence. I will be pulling like I would love to lose this pick'em contest, Mr. The Riot, on the back of that game.
Yeah. Okay.
If Auburn had won that game and their fans had stayed their ass in the stands, I'd be picking Auburn right now, just so you know.
Yeah.
But it's the field storm fade.
Yep. Okay. All right.
All right. Arizona State at Arizona.
Arizona State.
Okay, we'll go head-to-head here. Arizona's only got 4 wins on the season, but they got a good quarterback. They got a good offense. Again, the field storm fade. Arizona State last week, their fans stormed the field. Now they got to go on the road in a rivalry game. Arizona's won the last 2. Give me Arizona. to create more chaos in the Big 12. All right, Arkansas at Missouri. This is the hardest one to pick.
It is. I mean, golly, Missouri actually played pretty decent last week, I thought. Arkansas sucks, Brad. I mean, let's be honest. Give me Missouri here.
But you know the thing about this game? You're going Mizzou?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take Mizzou at home as well, and I'll tell you, I do think Arkansas probably is actually a better team than Missouri. I do think that. But Missouri looks at this stupid Battle Line Trophy game the way Arkansas looked at the Golden Boot every year in that Friday 1:30 slot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Missouri actually cares about it. Arkansas doesn't. I think it's a flat spot for Arkansas. Missouri at home, I think, gets it done. All right, 3 more. Texas at Texas A&M. Winner goes to the SEC championship game.
Oh, man. Is this where Texas stumbles, maybe? I kind of think it is, Matt. I think Texas A&M. I think Texas A&M could win this game. I mean, I really do. But I'm going to pick Texas.
Wait, what?
Yeah, give me Texas.
Hold on. What? Why?
Yeah, Texas is the better team. This is kind of like the Bama game for you. I think A&M can win, and I think they probably will. They probably will win.
A&M is at home. Auburn's on the road. A&M is a good team. Auburn's not a good team. That's the difference.
I think Auburn's all right.
It's not like that at all.
I'm going to go Texas here, but I don't feel good about it. I think A&M's going to win this game. I do.
Then pick A&M.
No, I'm going to pick Texas.
Why are you going to pick Texas?
Because they're the better team. I mean,
you realize we're picking who's going to win the game?
Yeah, no, I know, and I think Texas probably will win the game. I really want A&M to, and I think they can.
Okay, so you want A&M to win, and you think they can, but you think Texas is going to win.
I think Texas probably will win. Probably.
All right, yeah, I'm going Texas. Kansas State at Iowa State.
Oh man, give me Iowa State here.
Why are you picking Iowa State?
Because they're at home.
Yeah, I'll go Iowa State at home too. All right, Oklahoma LSU. Well, you're picking LSU because you're a gigantic homer. You picked them in every game this year. Of course you're picking them again.
I picked them in every game
no doubt.
Ever since we've done this.
Yeah,
LSU's going to win this game. I mean, last time these two teams played, wasn't it a blowout?
Well, yeah, that was the Peach Bowl in 2019 when LSU scored 63. But Joe Burrow's not playing, and neither are Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Patrick Queen, Caleb Von Chasson, Grant Delpit, Derek Stingley. Like, none of those guys are going to play on Saturday.
It's a pretty good team, huh?
Yeah, they're pretty good. They didn't stink.
Man. All right, well, go Tigers.
All right. Well, I won't wish you happy Thanksgiving. I'll just say I hope you have a good Thursday.
There it is. Just enjoy your day off. Good Thursday, Ryan.
Yeah,
thank you.
Have a good Thursday, Ryan.
Thanks. I will. You too,
there
bud.
You go. That is, I'm thankful for you. Did you hang up on him? Oh, he hung up. Or did you hang up on him? You hung up on him.
Well, I mean, it was kind of simultaneous.
Oh, Timmy. He just snorted.
Not really. Snorting is that.
That's what you did.
It's not.
Brought to us Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com. We closed on Thanksgiving, but I'll be back there on Friday, supperclubbtr.com. You want to get into Supper Club this weekend? Why wouldn't you? We went last Friday, had an awesome time. No matter if you want an amazing steak, maybe you want a beautiful piece of sea bass. They got salmon as well, lamb chops. Explore whatever you want. Veal parm. I'm telling you, the veal parmesan is one of the new items on the menu. Dreams about the veal parmesan. Great bottle of wine, craft cocktail, all there at Supper Club. An amazing dining experience at Supper Club. Remember, getting toward Christmas season, time to book your holiday party. You could reserve the private room over at Supper Club. You could reserve the entire restaurant at Supper Club or a party for any size in between. Supper Club, supperclubbr.com, supperclubbr.com for your reservations. You know what? I think I had something else in my mind there. I'm just making sure it's not Supper Club BTR. I think I screwed it up. Yeah, it's Supper Club BTR. I knew I'd screw that up. supperclubbtr.com. You ever just say something you know it doesn't sound right? Like that just rolled off. I know it just didn't sound right. supperclubbtr.com to get your reservations. Go for a wonderful night out. We got graduations coming up as well in December. Celebrate graduation. Tons of reasons to celebrate. Make sure you get by Supper Club. supperclubbtr.com. Okay, quick break. We'll come back. Since no show Thursday, Friday, I'll get you a preview and prediction on Saints-Rams when we come back. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hey, it's another home game for LSU. That means on Friday, even though it's Black Friday, the LSU Tigers will be over at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet. Remember, if you're having an event coming up, no matter the size or scale, make sure you check with Allison Crump over at the Renaissance Hotel. I love what, I talked to Nathaniel over there, or Allison, and they always say, hey, we're in the business of saying yes. They can conform and manipulate and modify their space to accommodate whatever event you have going on. Like when the LSU football team is there, the grand ballroom, that's where they have the team meals. Fit the whole team, tables, feeding stations, everything there. Food stations there at the Renaissance Hotel. Maybe you've got a wedding reception coming up. Maybe it's a corporate board meeting. The Renaissance Hotel can host your next event. So make sure you check with them today. It's the Renaissance Hotel. Right there on Bluebonnet, across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row, it's the Renaissance Hotel.
Let's talk turkey. Bayou Ford can get you in a new 2024 Ford F-150 with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off America's favorite F-150 truck. All new Bayou automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood Subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
How did the Otter do yesterday? I didn't check on all of our games.
4-2.
4-2 for the Otter. I'm telling you, what a week it's been. They were, absolutely in fuego on Jimmy Ott's Football Sunday. We've had a really, really good week. So let's see. We hit with Akron. Oh, that was easy. Akron won the game.
Outright.
It's a 9-point dog. Won the game outright, 21-14. Toledo just can't score. We faded Kent State. We laid 23.5 and won 43-7. Little rocking chair. The Houston Rockets covered the 3. Not great with Duke laying the 3.5.
No.
The hook got us. God dog it. I even asked the Otter, like, hey, do we buy the half a point? And then he said, no. And then we get back and say, oh, yeah, well, 3.5, yeah, buy the 3. So, and I was like, well, I already locked in the bet. He's like, well, cash out. Well, it wasn't 100% cash out. It's never 100% cash out.
No, but that also should be a loss because Duke was favored in that game by 3, and they lost outright.
That's what I mean. Oh,
but,
sorry.
Good
point. All right. Dayton was a winner. And then we lost with Houston laying the 4. Bama beat them by 5. And then we lost with never mind, that was it.
Yep.
Okay.
Good night, man.
Yeah.
Still a good night.
Let's go. When Hunt put Dayton up last night at Louisiana Sports Night, he put Dayton plus 95.
I saw that.
Instead of 9.5.
Saw that.
I wish it was 95.
That would have been a record spread there.
I'd have bet a lot of money on that.
Yeah.
95 is a lot of points. It's a lot of points to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Saints-Rams Sunday in the Dome. Hoodats have won 2 in a row under Darren Rizzi, now coming off the bye. Rizzi said when he met with reporters on Tuesday, he was asked kind of about the morale of the team. And look, there's no doubt. I mean, a 7-game losing streak, then you win 2 in a row, you go to your bye, and even treated this week with Thanksgiving as a modified week to give the guys off on Thursday, which never happened, so they go be with their family on Thanksgiving. Yeah, the team is in pretty good spirits right now.
Yeah, I would say the morale's been boosted. I don't really know quite how to put my finger on the exact reason. I think it's multiple things. Winning certainly cures a whole lot of that. When you're playing well, morale's usually higher. I think that's been in just this few short weeks that I've taken over. That's been the thing that's been probably the most pleasant thing to me is coming to work every day and seeing the guys in the locker room and seeing the emotion at practice and seeing the guys on the sideline. And so yeah, I mean I think we've certainly had a morale boost. I think Derek Carr's played some of his best football these last couple of weeks. It's a credit to him and the credit to the offensive staff and all the players around him. I think our enthusiasm, energy, I think all that's been better, so that always lifts morale. And then, like I said, when you win games, it certainly helps.
Yes, morale is boosted. They've won 2 in a row. You look up big picture, you're 4-7, and with 6 games to play, you're really 3 back because of the tiebreaker. Against Atlanta, you need a lot of help to get back into the mix to go to the playoffs, but you got to get hot here down the stretch. It's interesting looking at this matchup in particular because the Rams are one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL. 4th from the bottom. We just saw Sunday Night Football where Saquon went into L.A. and ran for 250 against the Rams. There's no Aaron Donald. Braden Fisk is. I remember Braden Fisk from Florida State. He was their second-round pick this year, and he's played pretty well. Jared Verse, also from Florida State, there as well, part of that defensive front for the Rams, pretty active front. But the thing that really worries me for New Orleans is the injuries on the offensive line. I would probably feel very differently about this game if you told me Eric McCoy and Lucas Patrick were healthy and ready to go. But as we sit here on Wednesday, McCoy and Patrick have not practiced, and I don't know that looks great for either of them to play on Sunday against the Rams. As the week goes along, we'll see maybe that changes. But even if they do, how healthy will they be? I don't know. And I just have a recent historical context to look at to say, man, Saints offense was awesome the first 2 weeks, albeit Carolina and Dallas. We now know 2 of the worst teams in the league. But you played Philly, and on the 3rd offensive snap, McCoy went down, and your offense face planted after that. So, yeah, it's massively significant. You don't have Connor McGovern anymore. We started during that stretch with McCoy out, kind of steadied you at least in the middle. And if Lucas Patrick isn't there, that means Shane Lemieux very likely plays center, and Nick Saldiveri plays left guard. Well, I don't like an interior offensive line that's Shane Lemieux, Nick Saldiveri, and Cesar Ruiz. I think the Saints have done a really remarkable job just getting the whole mood, vibe, and results on the field turned around under Darren Rizzi. But if you can't run the ball, then you can't set up play action in this Saints offense. And I think that's where we've seen some of the plays makeable there with Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I also don't have any context with what the Saints are going to be like coming off a bye under Darren Rizzi. For a long time under Sean Payton, they were fantastic at that. Remember, Payton kind of modeled it after Andy Reid, giving his guys to just go away. Just leave the building for the bye. Just leave. Don't come at all. And they were great coming off the bye. I don't know what it's going to be like with the extra week for a Darren Rizzi coach team and then a holiday as well. We'll see. I do like the fact that the Rams have to travel across country. I think it's always a disadvantage for teams that have to travel that far. One of the reasons I like Atlanta this week to beat the Chargers. The Chargers played on Monday Night Football and now have to travel across the country to Atlanta. I think Atlanta beats the Chargers outright at home. But this is one of those, though, where I still can't shake what happened last year in L.A. The Saints, with a full defense, a healthy defense, went to L.A., and Matt Stafford threw for 330 yards. That game was 30-7, and the Saints scored 2 touchdowns inside the final 6 minutes when they got run. I mean, that was the quintessential game that defines the Emperor of Empty Yards. That is a quintessential game that defines the Emperor of Empty Yards. Off with your head for missing the drop. To the cave of dungeon, the cave of...
The pit of misery?
Pit of misery!
There it is.
Dilly dilly, the pit of misery. There it is. Thank you. Bud Light, the pit of misery. Dilly dilly. They should bring back the dilly dilly guy.
That was a good ad.
That was a good ad. The dilly dilly guy was good. I do like the new guy, the Shane Hujimaflaji. Shane Gillis.
Shane Gillis?
Shane Gillis. He's good too, yeah. We're talking about like spilling the beans. You got tell me the truth. You got the Bud Light.
Yeah,
it's really good. Where were we? Oh, Rams. Saints defense. Right? Oh, Emperor of Empty Yards. Yes. So Derek Carr threw for a whole bunch of yards late. You're going to 30 years from now, they'll look at that box score. Man, close loss in L.A., and Derek Carr threw for a bunch of yards. No, he didn't. They got curb stomped, and then when the game was over and the Rams were like, taking the tape off their knees and everything like that, the Saints scored 2 late touchdowns because that's what Derek Carr is. Darren Rizzi was asked about last year's game against the Rams to prepare for this one.
Gosh, I went back and watched that game recently, and I probably wanted to forget about it a little bit. And I think the defense maybe takes a little bit too much of a beating from that game. Offensively last year, we had the ball at the plus 31, the plus 34, the plus 39, and the plus 42, and got 0 points. And so that game's completely different had we converted. The game with 1:20 to go in the first half is 10-7. And that's when I think the wheels kind of came off a little bit there. So there were some of those second half plays. They had an explosive on the first play of the second half, so we got to limit those. We certainly can't turn the ball over. But overall, I don't think we played a great game as a team.
Had a baby, I mean, didn't he just call out Derek Carr without calling out Derek Carr right there? But it's still Matthew Stafford. It's still Puka Nacua. It's still Cooper Kupp. We'll see if Demarcus Robinson plays in this game midweek. That's still uncertain after his arrest. It's still Kyron Williams. I mean, this is just not a good matchup for the Saints defense. The Saints defense, which continues to be one of the worst in the NFL. So, man, if the Saints were healthy on the offensive line, I might feel differently about it. But I just don't think the Saints are getting stops, and I don't know that this offense gets going, even coming off the bye, even at home. If you're going to tell me they're limited on the offensive line, and our old fade angle where a team that loses their starting center, you fade them, they fail to cover 80% of the time the week they lose their starting center. So if McCoy does in fact not play, massive disadvantage for New Orleans. I think the Rams win at 30-20. I think it's a little humbling for New Orleans. I really don't think it's going to be that close. The line on this game, as I look at it now, is Rams 2.5. But I think this is probably one of those humbling games. Like you think back to, the 2 wins. You beat Atlanta in a game where Younghoe Koo missed 3 times, which he never does. And then, you beat the Browns where that was a close game where Hopkins missed twice. Actually, 3 times, considering 1 missed and he got a second shot at it. Missed it from 5 yards closer even. And then, that was a tie ball game in the fourth quarter. And then the Saints outscored them 21-0 down the stretch, which is awesome. You get a ton of credit for finishing strong. I just don't know that this team is that good and has that much left in them. So you could certainly win at the Giants. The Commanders aren't playing great of late, and you get that one at home. You got to go to the Packers, which is going to be tough. The Raiders are pretty miserable. You get that one in New Orleans, but I think that's probably the extent of the winning for New Orleans. I think you could maybe win at the Giants and beat the Raiders at home, but I don't think they get the Rams this weekend. Give me the Rams 30-20 over the Saints. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Optimize, GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. GeneratorPeople.com, y'all, hey, it's not a matter of if, but when. When you live in Louisiana, it's not if the power goes out, it's when the power goes out. It's going to happen. How do you prevent that? How do you prepare for that? You call Optimize. They're the generator people. Listen, a generator is a commodity. There's a lot of companies that sell the exact same product. So how do you know where to go to buy the same product that everybody sells? Well, at Optimize, they do one thing. They sell, service, and install Generac automatic home standby generators. They've got inventory ready to roll. Their technicians only work on these generators. We call an HVAC company that has a generator division. You're getting a guy that spend most of the day working on HVACs that now is going to come work on your generator. Is that what you want? Or do you want someone who specializes in generators? Price quote guarantee, turnkey installation, and a low down payment. You can finance for any budget. It's Optimized. GeneratorPeople.com, GeneratorPeople.com. Okay, Otter Locks is coming up a little more than 10 minutes from right now. Got to get your final LSU-Oklahoma prediction. We'll do that as LSU and OU head into the first game of the regular season ever between these two teams. They'll play it Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Y'all go check out our friends over at Rouse's. Love telling you about Rouse's because, my goodness, they've just been so awesome to work with for us. They've been great partners of ours. And remember, you can get ready for Thanksgiving with Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's Markets has Garber Farms, U.S. #1 Louisiana sweet potatoes for just 23 cents a pound. That's a saving of 76 cents per pound. Fresh, wild-caught local Gulf oysters for your dressings and casseroles are just $11.99 a pint. That's a savings of $2 a pint. And don't miss 24 packs of 12-ounce Coke or Pepsi for just $9.97. That's a savings of $3.72. Happy Thanksgiving from Rouse's Market. With more than 70 locations from Lake Charles to Orange Beach, Alabama, points in between. Rouse's.com, Rouse's.com. Happy Thanksgiving from our friends at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. For years, you've heard me tell you about Insurance Network of Louisiana, helping you find better coverage for less money. But it's not just for your home and auto. They also offer commercial property. So, retail stores, professional offices like doctors, dentists, attorneys, clothing boutiques. Insurance Network of Louisiana can find you better coverage for less money. They service the entire state of Louisiana, and they're local. So call today at 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar, open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I'll cut to the chase. Do it in reverse here. I think LSU beats Oklahoma 27-17. When you play a full season of college football or of any sport, by the time you get to your final playing date, you are what your record says you are. You are what the stat sheet says you are. For example, Southern Cal is 6-5, and they've played a lot of teams close. They were in it late in all 5 of their losses, but they lost all those games. They're a team that can't finish. You've proven it time and time again. It's not a one-off. So I look at Oklahoma, and I'm sure there's a lot of LSU fans who saw what happened last week against Alabama, and you're going, man, that Oklahoma team, look what they did defensively to Jalen Milroe and to Alabama, especially in the context of what Milroe and Alabama did offensively in Baton Rouge. And I understand that. And I do believe that Oklahoma is a good defense. We have seen that pretty consistently from OU. They've been a good defensive team. We can go back to the Tennessee game early in this season, man, where they lost that game on their home field 25-15, and that was a Tennessee offense that was at a record pace through the first 3 weeks. A night game in Norman, that defense cranked up the intensity, and you saw what happened. Now, they got run by a very good Texas team. They got run by Oklahoma. I'm sorry, they got run by South Carolina 35-9 on their home field, by the way. Turnovers were their undoing early. That game was over before you could blink. They lost at Ole Miss 26-14. They beat Maine, then lost to Missouri 30-23, where they had that game won, and they gagged it away late. Remember, that was the game where Brady Cook left, went to the hospital, came back, and ultimately led the comeback for the win. They had a bye, and then they beat Alabama coming off their bye. But there was a stretch there for Oklahoma where they lost 4 of 5, and the only win was against Maine. So you think LSU's 3-game losing streak was tough? From the win against Auburn that Oklahoma had, a game, by the way, where they were flat beat at Jordan-Hare. Auburn's trying to run out the clock, and Peyton Thorne throws a pick 6. I mean, they were dead to rights. You would have been talking about a team that would have lost 7 of 8, and Brent Venables probably ain't the coach anymore. But that was their only win amid that stretch. Oklahoma is what their record says they are and what the stat sheet says they are. This is a team that is anemic offensively. They're 88th in the country in scoring offense. They're 121st in the country in passing offense. They're 76th in rushing offense. They're 15th in the SEC in total offense. 15th in scoring offense. They're dead last in the SEC in total offense. This is a team that can't move the football. They're down their top 5 or 6 wide receivers Saturday in Tiger Stadium. They got going against Alabama with a commitment to downhill running with their quarterback, Jackson Arnold. And it's something I think they're going to try to do against LSU as well. But Jackson Arnold isn't the dynamic runner that Jalen Milroe is, and getting in space is what hurt LSU with Milroe and with Marcel Reed. LSU the last 2 weeks, we've seen them implement more of a 4-3 front, and that seemed to serve him well. It certainly served him well against Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt this past weekend. It's a huge benefit for LSU, especially the fact that you do not have to respect their ability to throw the football. Listen, if on Saturday Jackson Arnold lights you up for 280 through the air, tip your cap. God bless you, kid. You went out and played a hell of a game, and you made the plays and you won it. A lot of people think he has that in him, right? He's a former 5-star. It's the reason they told Dylan Gabriel, sayonara, man. You go up to Oregon, try to win you a natty, we're rolling with the kid. Maybe he proves it this weekend. But again, you are, through 11 games, what your stat sheet says you are. It's a kid that started, played so poorly, he got benched. They played him again because the other kid played poorly, and it ain't been much better. So I don't think this is a game where if you're LSU, you're worried about a score fest. I think what Oklahoma wants to do is come in and muddy this thing up and play a low-scoring game and find a way to kick a field goal late, try to get out of there with a win. The flip side of the ball is LSU's offense against that Oklahoma defense. And Oklahoma's defense has been very good against the run this year. That also has been part of this. That is undeniable, and you saw it last week. Danny Stutzman's a great linebacker. Dominic Williams is a defensive lineman LSU wanted badly, we all remember, in the transfer portal last year. Ultimately, Oklahoma's the one that went and paid him, and he landed there, and boy, he'd be the best interior defensive lineman on LSU's team right now. Might be the best defensive player on LSU's team if, in fact, he had landed here. But that's an Oklahoma team that's allowing 105 rush yards per game. That's 5th in the SEC. It's not like that's the 85 Bears or the 2011 LSU Tigers, but they're good. You know, can LSU generate anything? Running the ball, we'll see. But passing defense has been where Oklahoma has been vulnerable. And if Garrett Nussmeier protects the football, that's one of those where you could see LSU make some plays through the air. Oklahoma allows over 200 pass yards per game on the season. And this is an opportunity for LSU and their receivers to get going if you can keep Garrett Nussmeier upright. So I think Garrett Dellinger, his availability this week, if he's able to go and LSU's offensive line is at or near full strength, major benefit. If we have to see, a rotation on the interior again, if we're seeing Paul Mabenga at left guard and he plays the way he did against Florida, that could spell trouble. But if LSU keeps Garrett Nussmeier upright, I don't know that Oklahoma has enough dudes in that secondary to guard all the receivers LSU has. Simplify. Let Garrett Nussmeier be instinctive. Play smart, protect the football. Oklahoma, not a good enough offensive team to come and just move the ball up and down the field on you and outscore you. It'll have to be a game where it's what Alabama did, man. Jalen Milroe threw 3 picks. One of them was a pick 6. You kept giving Oklahoma a short field. They shortened the game by running it for 200 yards in the first half, and they were able to outlast you in the second half, basically because of the turnover, the pick 6 and the turnovers. Protect the football. Make them drive the length of the field because they can't. Play solid defense and just protect the football offensively. You're going to make enough plays to go score and win. And I think LSU does. I'll take the Tigers to beat Oklahoma 27-17 to get to 8-4 on the season, which is not what anybody here wanted for this LSU football team. But a win over Oklahoma, finish 8-4. You go off to a bowl game, hopefully retain this roster. Hopefully next Wednesday for the early signing period is a really successful day for LSU. And then you eye a bowl game, roster retention, and that first portal window, because that's going to be the key to building that 2025 roster. But this could be a springboard Saturday night, Tiger Stadium, as that'll be the last game in Death Valley for about 10 months or so, 9 months. So enjoy it. Get out there. Should be a beautiful night in Tiger Stadium. All right, it's after further review. Otter Locks is coming up. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. They do it all. They do it better than anyone over at Relief Windows. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Happy Thanksgiving from Brandon and Adrian Holly, their family, and all the great staff over at Relief Windows. Want to lower those energy bills, beautify the exterior of your home, increase your home's resale value? You could do it with gorgeous, energy-efficient replacement windows from Relief Windows. Call the team that I call. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Okay, Jimmy's here for Otter Locks. Final Otter Locks of the week. Send you off into Thanksgiving next. It's AFR.
After further review.
Had the pleasure for a solid year now to tell you about Action Industries and how they serve the petrochemical and refinery markets all the way up and down the river for 42 years. Those 30 plants up and down the river means so much for our state's economy. Well, something that I'm going to have a lot of time to tell you about now in the coming days and weeks and months is the Advanced Turnaround Group. Still Action Industries, still great ownership, still great management, but the Advanced Turnaround Group, they're not pulling employees and workers from other jobs. This is a collection of project managers and employees that specialize in turnaround work, turnaround jobs. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries. If you want to learn more, go to the website, actionindinc.com. So it's Action Industries Incorporated. actionindinc.com. See a list of all they do. They're a proud partner of LSU Athletics. It's Action Industries, actionindinc.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram can get you in a new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $15,000 off MSRP. $15,000 off the newly designed Ram 1500 truck. All new Bayou Automotive vehicles come with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
4-2 last night. Good job, Otter. How are you?
Doing great, man. Yeah, it was nice. Nice.
Awesome.
We couldn't take advantage of of Big Boy being out for Dickinson for Kansas down the stretch. I mean, if we couldn't beat him with him getting kicked out with about 8-10 minutes to go, we weren't going to beat him anyway. So, but 4-2, man, not bad.
All right, what do we do? What do we do for an encore here tonight? And if you got anything on Thursday, let us know too.
Yeah, we got a late start, so Creighton's up 13-7. They're catching 4 points. We're on them, but we didn't post the picks on the website today. We're going to go to UConn. College basketball's favorite a-hole, Rick and Hurley. I mean, what's the jerk? I mean, this guy is something, man. He is tough to pull for. And it laying significant points again. Dayton is good, man. Dayton is been very competitive against better teams right now. Now, maybe UConn has the branding, but give us the Flyers, Anthony Grant's team, plus the points tonight.
All right, Dayton's getting 7.
And then the Michigan State game. Michigan State, this is kind of a loser's bracket game against North Carolina. 5.5, Matt. I think Sparty can keep that close. So, look, no embarrassment for Auburn. I mean, North Carolina getting beat by North Carolina. No embarrassment for North Carolina getting beat by Auburn last night. We're going to take the point in Michigan State in that one. Let's go to Thanksgiving Day football, and we'll start off
1 minute
in
remaining.
Dallas. They left Tommy DeVito at home. That's the plus. Positive by negative. So, hey, look, we're going with the former Missouri star, Drew Lock, and we're going to take the Giants plus 3.5. And then the night game, under 40 degrees, 2-0-4. Randy McKay jumping on that again. He's going to take Green Bay minus the 3 or 3.5, wherever you're shopping.
All right, New York plus 3.5, Green Bay minus 3.5. Off tomorrow for Thanksgiving, but back for Football Friday at Rufino's?
Yeah, everybody's off, but we're there. We got tons of picks on this rivalry weekend in college football.
It is game time. Not game time. It's live at lunch. It's live at lunch with Ott and Hanny.
Take a day off, man.
Weekdays allowed. I need more than a day, brother. Thank you, Otter. Happy Thanksgiving.
Good luck.
Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanks, man. We'll see you. Muse, Paulie, thanks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We'll see you back Monday at 3.
After further review.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You know, this Thanksgiving, there's a lot to be thankful for, but it's also worth thinking about what Thanksgiving could be like next year. Maybe you've always thought about owning that big piece of property and building your family's dream home on it. All the Thanksgivings you could have with extended family, plenty of parking, space for the kids to run around, tons of recreational opportunities as well, and the beautiful dream home you've always envisioned in your mind's eye. It can be a reality. First South Farm Credit can make it happen. See, since 1916, First South Farm Credit has focused on one thing. They help Louisianians buy land. So, if it's 1,000 acres for agriculture, you know that. But if it's that recreational property or that acreage to build your family's dream home, whatever it may be, it's First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthLand.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756